Hello, everybody. Look at this motley-looking crew in here.
What's up?
It's been a minute. Garrett is here. Hello, Garrett.
Howdy.
Isis is here. Hello, Isis.
Hello.
How are you, my friend?
Oh, great, Mike.
Yeah, I always have to lower your mic when
I know.
where you're sitting. It's been a minute. I don't know if I remember how to do this anymore.
I'm figuring it out as we go.
Yeah. It's a little cleaner down here, thank God. It was a dust show.
Oh, the upstairs is still a mess.
Yeah, it is. It's so much better than it was. You wouldn't have believed how bad it was. Like I'm still not staying here.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sleeping up here.
No, given the dust, I don't blame you.
No. And I was under this illusion, like, because I was telling you guys almost 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
Like there might be a couple days where it's going to be too loud and
Yeah.
too dusty, but that should only be a couple days and blah blah blah. Ha. What a fucking joke that was. Like this place has been like getting that tile up and then finding out, you don't realize until you take stuff up and it's like, why is this elevated a half an inch higher than the rest of the stuff? Like where the landing for the house was, I put slate in there and then it had this carpet that I put in and then the gross like pink tile that was there from from 100 years ago.
Pepto-Bismol pink.
That bullshit. Oh God, it
It's
horrified
the only
me.
way you can describe that color.
Dude, it's so bad, and I don't know why I give a shit when anyone thinks. I don't know why, but it's like a thing. Like anytime someone will come into my house, anytime I'd be like, okay, it's about to be under renovation. This is going to be out. Like who gives a shit? I don't go into other people's houses and judge.
Right. Yeah.
I don't care how small your house is, how big your house is, how fancy it is, how fucking shitty it is. It's like everybody's at a different thing, and I get that. And
Stuff like that falls into line of
cares?
like regular human shit. The most of the
Right.
stuff that we worry about that someone's gonna say, no one's gonna walk in your house and sort of fucking. Just
I mean,
being
they
a smart
joke with me
ass.
sometimes.
Yeah.
People online, especially. will be
yeah.
like, what?
That's-
You're getting rid of the Pepto-Bismol? And it's
Yeah,
like,
that's different though. But like in real life, the reality of like that anyone's like you said, you don't go into someone's house and be like, "Ooh, that color tile, huh?"
I mean, if you had literal piles of dog and cat shit all over your house, maybe
Yeah.
I'd go, okay, something's
Yeah.
not right here. But if it's just like, it's dated, like shit,
That happens.
there's a lot of stuff like that. So but I constantly found myself doing that, like so embarrassed of this. And I know I'm like, I don't treat other people like that. I don't
Yeah.
care what
Just do what I do. Start watching Hoarders. It makes you feel way better about
It's
yourself.
way better. Dude,
Marina and I are going through it again right now on Max. and
hilarious.
It's the funniest
Have you
thing
gotten to
ever.
my episode?
Not yet.
Do you know the one I'm talking about?
No. Which one?
The one, remember, I did on the show. Someone mentioned it today. Isis, you'll remember it.
Oh, yeah.
Someone made a comment about the upstairs collapse from all the bags of feces.
Oh, God.
And it just made me laugh out loud. Such a stupid little comment on Facebook. But it was, I had watched that episode where this old lady was just shitting into bags and chucking them upstairs
Just whipping them.
for years. She
Yeah.
was just like, man, she looked like kind of like Mike Clark. And she was just whipping them upstairs, and the fucking upstairs collapsed under the weight of buckets of urine and shit for years.
I still wonder what was the reasoning for chucking it upstairs? Like,
It
why
was
would
just
you
like,
put
get
it
it
in
out
a
of my
basement
face.
or something?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
Or I don't know what the house layout was.
It was horrid. It was it was exactly what you'd think it was.
No, I
And
know.
Garrett knows if he's watching.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Hoarders
watching Hoarders right now. It's bad.
Yeah. So a couple things. Pants has a new home.
Oh dang!
Yes, he does.
It's my basement.
and it's Garrett's house.
Permanent forever home?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn.
I had talked to Garrett about it a while back.
Yeah,
It was
it
like,
was
hey,
a couple months.
If I, at some point, if I end up leaving town, don't worry, the show won't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But if I do, I need to house this cat. I can't, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then the wrecking ball hit this. And my mom was going crazy. She was like, you have got to get she's like, will you please call Garrett? Please call Garrett.
Yeah.
Every day. I'm like, Mom, I don't want to bother Garrett with this. I talked to him. He was going to talk to Marina. And if they don't want the cat, I don't want to force them to take the cat. I'm not going to do that to them. It's an obligation. It's a responsibility. I don't want to do that. If they really want the cat, they'll let me know. And she's like, this is not fair to this fucking cat. It is living in this dust and this shit. This is not cool. And I called Garrett and I was like, hey man, you feel free to say no. And you
Gave
talked
me the
to
classic
Marina.
Midwest out on the ask.
Yeah, yeah. Like, dude, don't feel, and I mean it too,
Yeah.
because I get it, But Garrett was like, yeah, let's give it a shot. And Marina was
She's
like,
a little hesitant at first. Had
Yeah.
to convince her a little bit. I wanted a cat for a while, so this kind of
which
just
I
hit
knew
at the right spot.
which is why this kind of played out in the
Yep.
beginning, because I knew you did.
I love cats. They're
And
easy.
so Pants hasn't gone to the vet in a long time. Pants
Yeah.
kind of does his
Yeah.
own thing.
Yeah, he
And-
definitely does around
and,
here.
and
Or was.
he's had moments. He's just seen him where it's like, oh shit, dude. And so we took him to the vet, had him clean him up, clip his nails.
Overall, was he okay?
Do all kinds of blood work on him. And the blood work and everything came back perfect on this little dude.
Oh, yeah.
That dude is a little rock star. He's 12 pounds now. So I was calling Fat Pants forever.
Yeah.
And Fat Pants had to have been 20 plus pounds.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He's
a big boy.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's now 12 pounds. And they said, we'd like to see him at 10 pounds. And I'm like, fuck out of here. He looks skinny as shit now. He's long haired. Yeah. He's beautiful.
We'd like to see him at 10.
I'm like,
look, I love animals.
Big black void of fluff.
Yeah, he's all fluff.
Yeah.
He's all fluff. And he's the sweetest boy in the world.
Oh, yeah.
But it's better for him. This environment here is not good for this cat. And it's been a problem for a while. And I didn't want to move him.
I didn't even get to say goodbye to Pants.
I know. Well, he's at Garrett's. So come say hi anytime you want.
Okay, there we go.
But
I'm in Westland.
I'm really, honestly, and I don't mean to make the show about anything like this, but I'm really, really happy that you and Marina have him.
Oh, yeah.
That I know where he is, that I know he's with people that will care for him, and he's an awesome fucking
Dude, he's been so nice.
Yeah,
It's such an
he
easy
headbutts
cat.
when he gets near you.
A little bit at night. That's the only problem I have with him. He's like to wake you up with a headbutt.
Yeah, I had to
be
lock
like
him out of my
3
room.
a.m.
I had to lock him out of my room. He learned how to jump up and knock the handle when he was a baby to let himself in the room. So I had to put a lock on my bedroom door.
Yep.
So he couldn't do that anymore because he'd come in and he'd knead on me and he would headbutt me.
Yep.
And I was like, little man, you can't do
You
this.
got knocked
dude.
that off. I figured out that if I just kind of sleep towards like the edge and
Yeah.
where he can't get to me, he just fucks off. He doesn't do it. He's like, all right, fine.
And he will. He'll do that for a bit, and then he will fuck off. But he'll wake you up sometimes. So that's been going on. This house has been a disaster. It's crazy upstairs. The painters are here. Don't speak a lick of English. I can't even say like, great job, guys.
Yeah.
Like usually you see migrants and here. So my guy, the painter, has done like my parents' house. He's fucking awesome. But he's got a crew of guys.
Yeah.
And they are right across. Yeah, I mean, these motherfuckers work their asses off. They're unbelievable, the detail with everything. But I just want to thank them. They're done with this part.
Gracias.
You didn't
And
have
I went up there.
gracias?
I just went, gracias, you guys, and just gave him a thumbs up.
Really, you did?
I did.
That's fun.
Right before I came
Gracias.
back down here, I was like, gracias, you guys, thank you.
What was the reaction?
They gave me thumbs up, but they
Okay.
didn't. I mean, they can't say hello.
Yeah.
Like literally, like I was saying like, hola, good morning.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like not a lick, but here every day, hard ass workers. I can't tell you guys the level of respect I've gained for the people that do.
what is it? The Latinx community?
No. The people that do this kind of work. So when you're talking about tile guys, my I don't know if you'd call him a foreman or whatever.
Whoever's running the job.
The guy is my peace of mind, right? And he's been here for a month now. You know, long before these other guys.
Yeah.
He was doing the bathrooms upstairs. His name's Josh. He only works locally. He handpicks the jobs he does. He came highly recommended, and he's a fucking godsend.
Yeah.
He's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Unbelievable.
No, you're
He's
showing
a-
me some of the work. He was
Dude.
knocking out bathrooms in a day.
And he's one of the sweetest guys. I've met his son, who's like Marshy's age, and his wife. They live blocks over. They walk over here,
that's
went
awesome.
from the bus stop and shit. So his kid is the one that calls me Mr. Mike.
Yep.
Neatest little dude. And this guy is just a fucking rock star. And I had no idea these construction guys that can go into a house, rip walls down, rip cabinets out, redo plumbing, redo electrical, paint, and the math skills required of these guys is I had no idea how fucking smart these guys
all
were.
measurements.
How strong these guys were. It's geometry. They're so far over my head. They're so strong. The laborious nature of this work is incredible, and to see it on a daily basis, I'm in awe of them. I mean, I'm a walking, living pussy. So is Isis. We could barely tie our own shoes. This is the most we can offer society, and I see people like that, and I'm just like, it's unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable.
I mean, this guy is such a total pussy. It's stunning.
It's true.
That couldn't be me.
It's true. No, you're somewhere in between.
Yeah.
You've got.
I'm not quite contractor, but I do.
Contractor. That was what I was looking for.
I'm not quite a contractor, but I definitely do a blue collar job. It's a lot of pipe lifting, a lot of moving heavy stuff around.
Yeah. It's a lot, and to see guys like just freely move big pieces of equipment
Yeah,
or
it's crazy.
Yeah, you got to learn quick.
giant, like the weight to a slate floor.
Yeah.
Or buckets and buckets and buckets of tile. Like it's unbelievable. And to see how far they get in a day or 2 days or a week, and and being in this environment, it's just they earn every fucking dollar, and the decision making they're like I don't know how it is for other people, but the crew I've got here are multiple different professions,
Right.
Yeah.
And they are at a level where it's like they're designers as well. Like, nah, you're not going to want to do this. Here's why.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
You don't have any of this. And Josh today was like, they had planned to do some ornate fucking bullshit on that little half wall thing that has to stay up there.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not going to do that. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, here's what they've recommended to do. And he's like, there's none of this in your house anywhere. This will look weird and like
Yeah, it won't
cover
match.
something
Oh,
up.
yeah.
And I'm like,
I got what you're saying. Yeah.
Never thought of it like that. And it's like, yeah. And then you see what he did, and you're like, yeah.
Yep.
That's
why we hired you.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I'm telling you guys all this just like out of an abundance of sorries. I know we said, you guys have put up with a lot of shit. Not you two, but the audience, of me not being here or me dealing with a health thing or being across the country or whatever. And believe me, it makes me feel really bad when we're not able to do a show. You two have been great. You've been available every day. You've checked in every morning, both of you, going, hey, we doing something today? And it's like, I'm sorry, guys, we can't go in there. So thank you guys for the patience, and anybody listening, we'll do our best.
Oh, they're happy to see us back.
Are they good?
Yeah, the comments coming. Anthony said, "Who are these guys?"
Yeah.
Lynn, we missed you. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Ryan came in with, "Look what the cat dragged in. See what I did there."
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's great. Thank you guys. It's great to be missed a little bit. I know
Chase
it
on
gets
Facebook
tiresome.
saying, "Hell yeah."
Hell yeah. Well, we've missed you guys just as much. Honestly, every time it drives me nuts. It used to drive Drew nuts. This was the funniest thing. Like, do you remember this, Isis, when we'd be on vacation?
Yeah.
And it was like, you could mark it with a calendar.
Something was going to happen.
Something big was going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, like Princess Diana is going to die the week we're on vacation.
Yep. Yeah.
Be some big story that you want to be a part of. To me, that was Don Lemon. That was the big story, and I'll still mention him because fuck Don Lemon, piece of shit.
The Lemon.
Don Lemon, exactly.
Just real quick.
But there were so many stories that popped up, and I'll let you talk.
Yeah.
There were so many stories that came up. I was like, God damn it! I wish we were downstairs right now. So it sucked for me too. Trust me.
This is kind of off the subject, but when you're talking about how the guys didn't speak any English whatsoever, have you noticed, dude, like
an abundance of that in the country lately?
No.
I have.
And I don't care. But like, have you noticed like on commercials? Like, dude, I almost don't have like, I know a lot of us don't watch traditional TV, but I still do sometimes, and even to be honest, on my Hulu and shit. There are like, I almost don't go a break anymore without one of the commercials being
I've been getting a lot of Spanish
ads.
Spanish, yeah, Mexican.
Yeah. But seriously,
are they doing that a lot?
Yes,
I get them a lot now too. It'd be like a Samsung ad, but it's all in Spanish. I'm like,
yes.
Who the fuck? Why am I?
And I find myself saying,
funny.
"Speak English, God damn it!
Yeah,
we're in America."
Isn't that fucking terrible?
We're in
that you
America.
feel like that,
muy
but it's like,
poquito.
what is that?
Mi español es muy poquito.
Is that good or bad?
Spanish is very little.
Very little, yeah.
Yes.
It's
That's how you
even
say,
littler
like,
here. I
Yes.
could say taco, burrito, like that, but
Tocar 4 años la clase por español. I don't remember.
I can
shit.
say una poca de gracia por mi partida, uno arriba y arriba.
Ryan said, "Bien
can say
trabajo,
that.
chicos."
You didn't get that?
It's a good
No.
work, guys.
Una poca de gracia por mi partida.
Oh yeah, you said it really fast. You
Yeah, I
didn't
know I
sing
did.
it.
I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
But I know part of the lyrics to
And
La Bamba, I guess, but that's about it.
I'm glad someone else noticed it, but for real, dude, like I don't go a break now on one of my like streaming apps if I have a commercial where it's not in Spanish, and I
Well,
don't care.
the funny
but it's
thing
just kind
is-
of like, oh wow, they're really in now. I
See,
mean,
if you go to LA though,
Yeah.
for any period of time,
Yeah.
it's everywhere.
It makes
like,
sense
it's
though, though.
everywhere.
No,
it
it does make
does.
sense.
20 minutes from Canada. Like, it's the wrong border.
You're right. But I'm used to that where you're going through the radio and it's like absolute. Because these guys, they're up there all day and they don't have a speaker, but they just have an iPhone up against the wall, and it sounds like the same song on repeat.
Yeah.
And that's
Right.
probably what they hear when they hear
Yeah,
rock
yeah.
and roll. But it's all fucking flamenco guitar and
Yep.
Mexican music.
Yeah.
But I'm like, hey man, whatever gets you guys through the
no,
day, fucking
there is
go get it.
There is something about that. I'll say for sure. Like, dude, anytime, even in your own house, if you want to do some chores or something, man, listening to music is like the way to go. Obviously, so
Yeah.
I get that. It's just something I've noticed in TV. Like I said, like for real, like. it's not just like one or two. Like, holy shit, this is every break. I'm getting at least one Spanish commercial. I'm like, whatever.
Well,
but
they're moving the ball down the field, I guess, because every commercial you see, I mean, it's cliche now. Yeah. It's just like have to have an Asian person, have to have a black guy,
and a gay couple now.
A gay couple, yes, for sure. And the weird thing about the gay couple is Garrett doesn't qualify.
No,
because you wouldn't know if Garrett was gay.
No, I have to look gayer.
You'd have to be this like,
you gotta have a shirt with like a rainbow or something.
Right. You need to be super flamboyant and bobbing and fucking prancing gay. That's the only gay that counts. And it's like, yeah, I see what you're doing. You're trying to look this way, but you're stereotyping in the worst way, because I know plenty of gay people who you wouldn't know they were gay.
Yeah,
and they're almost embarrassed. What's that?
I don't hang around any gay people I know are gay.
Really? Yeah, but it's like there's nothing wrong with it. But when you're dealing with something that, okay, so you're playing up the character of it is what you're doing. You're going for the most obvious, like, example of flamboyance to make your point. Yeah. And we see what you're doing.
It's like Bill Mulvaney in
trans
woman face.
Yeah, woman face. Exactly. It is gay face.
It's gay face.
It's gay face. You should be highly offended at
I got to start working on that. I'm going to get more offended now.
Yeah, start hashtag gay face.
All right.
Stop gay facing, man.
And you know what's funny, too? Like, this has nothing to do with that. But the other thing I noticed that when I was talking about is the idea of mentioning commercials. It seemed like 5 years ago, you got to that point, right, where it was like, oh, I don't have commercials. Netflix never did.
Yeah.
And now it's like the reality is, dude, very few people to me are paying. Like, Disney Plus still doesn't. I guess Netflix, I think they do.
HBO, they all do like their
own
promote
shows,
their own shows.
They're their own shows, but I'm saying, like, you know, even this, to me, like, you get Peacock. It's still commercials.
Yeah,
like,
you
if
get
you
the
So, like, the idea to me
they
has gone
are
away.
better though, where they do. I appreciate the circle.
I do too.
Circle of death in the corner that says you've got 50 more seconds of bullshit before we get back to it.
I agree, and they're not as long.
Not as long,
as we were used to back in. But, like, you know what I'm saying though? Like 5 years ago, it was like, if you said commercials, you sound like an old man. Like, what are you watching? You have commercials. And now, dude, YouTube, if you're not paying for YouTube Premium, which I'm not,
nobody is.
You are fucking...
Use my password for that.
Level of... Okay, I'll have
Seriously. It's not... They're doing it on purpose, and they're ramping it up more on purpose to force you into paying for it.
Yep.
Like, if you're going to pay for a subscription, you almost have to do it for YouTube.
And so it's like, but that's like and YouTube, you know what's funny? YouTube doesn't bother me because it technically is free. But it's like, dude, these streaming services now that it's like, well, you can pay $8 for the service or $25.
Did you think they weren't going to find a way to fuck us over? I mean, honestly.
Well, you've mentioned it, we've all mentioned it, but back in the day, cable, that was the deal, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no commercials. You're paying for this premium content.
Service. So, how long did that last?
But it just seemed like when I thought about it, like I used to make fun of my dad, like, what are you talking about commercials? And now it's like, in reality, very few things I watch have no commercials.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm paying for services still. Yeah. Like, I'm not paying for something.
Well, my thing with YouTube was, if they were going to give me, remember that they would do the 6-second ones?
It used to be like you had a 5-second beginning, like, ad.
They would do that, and then when they got to 10 and 15, I was like, nope, I'm out. I'm not watching that video.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to make the point, like, I'll fucking put up with your 5 and 6 seconds, but you start getting into 15, 30, fuck off. I'm not. If someone's like, oh yeah, you got to check out this band or this song, and I'm like, okay, I'll check it out, but I'm not doing 30. Fuck that.
No, the worst were those like, they'd have 30-minute ads on YouTube sometimes.
They still do, but they give you the skip option.
Every once in a while. They give you the skip option, which is good, but a lot of times, like, I'll be like having YouTube in the background. I'm just like, listening to like a 2-hour like retrospective on something, you know, or like a weird background thing.
And you realize,
like,
dude,
10
I'm
minutes
4
later,
minutes
I'm like,
into this commercial.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's a 20-minute commercial. And you're like, and it's for some bullshit fucking health shake.
Right.
It's not like, you're like, oh,
the
get,
same
like, survival
people
shit
on your fucking like, for me, I get this guy over and over again that talks about fucking losing weight. Now he's got
carb guy or whatever.
Yeah, now he's got what's his name, Doctor.
Does he have?
Not Doctor. Obviously not Phil.
Oz or not?
The one with Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
He's got him on there, and he's like, "You've seen this guy." Now he's on there telling me, you've seen this guy all over your feed.
That guy's been red pilled to death.
Dr. Drew.
Dr. Drew.
Dr. Drew Pinsky. He's been red pilled.
Oh yeah.
He's come out hard, man.
Yeah,
he's,
for sure.
With the medical shit that went on with COVID.
Which, of course, then all of a sudden, at a point when he was considered, this guy is smart, now he's dumb.
Yeah.
Once you go that way, you're just dumb now.
You're just dumb.
It doesn't matter whatever you did before.
And he's racist. Don't forget that.
Yep, dumb and racist.
I don't even consider that. Racist is part of it.
Yeah, that's a given.
It literally could be like all you say is I don't believe in COVID was as bad as it was, and all of those fall in. Like I don't consider any of that.
Yeah, that makes you homophobic.
It's all just throw it all in there.
Throw it all in.
Oh, my favorite are Rumble ads. They're always the most it's usually a guy from like a backwoods. He's like got his hat on. He's like, the end is near and we need to prepare. Buy my like stockpile of food that you can keep in your basement for years.
I have a question.
Let me guess. Are they doing like all like hardcore to the right?
They're all hard right.
Like American made.
Thing. Or it's the Trump bobbleheads with the AI Trump voice.
It makes sense.
Here's my question about those guys. And I'm not.
Which guys?
The guys he's talking about. This fucking
the Rumble guys.
The end is near.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I understand why people can even have that belief if you see what's going on with some of this shit. But like, so what does that mean? I'm gonna go to fucking Rumble and what do I have to spend? $1,000? And how much does that give me? They're always like, we can give you enough for 4 months supply. Okay.
Now I'm alive for 4 months.
If you're telling me the world's done in 6 months, how many of these 4 month supplies am I supposed to buy?
Yeah. I'm supposed to buy it for after the world ends.
Well, and that's the other thing. By the way, if it fucking really all goes down,
we're screwed. You and I are totally screwed.
But most people would be anyway.
So I'm getting my gun and taking down my neighbor who probably bought all the Rumble ads.
Stick with me because I've already got a fucking firm agreement with the Crack Brothers.
There you go.
I've got a Marine and a cop, both biggest fucking houses.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, dude, you do not get to fucking escape without me. You just don't.
Yeah,
and they're like, we got you. Don't worry. When it all goes dark,
we're gonna need some entertainment.
Yeah, but you can sit around the campfire and do a fake show. We'll be great. And I'm like, I'm in. I can do that. I can't lift anything.
Need a gesture?
Yeah, I'll be the court jester. I'll be tap dancing for my dinner and shit. You guys kill it. Skin it.
Just got an egg on you. Dance, monkey.
Dance, monkey. That's right. And I will.
But it always just makes me laugh. Like, I don't even totally, I get where they're even coming from, but I'm like, okay, how much do I need to buy then? Like, how much am I supposed to
buy? Even if you buy 2 years worth.
Right.
Okay. Now what? I poke my head out, they just shoot me in the face?
I know. I don't.
No, it should be alarming to see that every billionaire is building these bunkers with full lighting.
Yeah.
And, that should
buying
tell
up
you
old
something.
silos.
Because those people are going to they're going to go after them first. Yeah. People are going to go after those motherfuckers first.
Yeah.
Oh, as soon as the law's out if law's off the books, dude, every billionaire's got their head on it. It's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not going to fare well, but I don't know. I should also mention before we get to some stories, my voice is still kind of fucked up, and I'll be honest with you, I've been doing this Zyn stuff. I haven't been smoking.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I swear to God, the other day I was like, oh, he's gone to the chewless tobacco now.
Yeah,
or smokeless tobacco. I mean.
Yeah, there's no tobacco.
Damn, it looks like it though.
No, there's no tobacco. It's
no, but
it's the same as like the patch.
Yeah. Okay.
And you just throw it in your lip, and I like it. It's wintergreen, whatever.
Perfect.
But I still I hate being like, no, I don't smoke. I'll never have a cigarette. I still fucking love it. And so when I sneak out, so I've had like half a pack of cigarettes in the last 3 weeks.
Gotcha.
That's good.
Which for me, I was probably smoking, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
2-3 packs a day. I don't know. Like it was bad, dude. Alone, bored, just smoking my ass off. So, but I haven't been smoking.
Yeah.
And I will never smoke in this house again. Like we're going to great lengths to de-smoke this house.
Yeah, that's good.
And it's costing a lot of fucking money to do it. So to kills everything and repaint
sticks and you don't realize till it's too late.
Dude, and people that walk in are like, oh, I can tell which room wasn't killed yet. And I'm like, wow, this is unbelievable. So those days are over, but I don't think that's what this is.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. So I went to the doctor this morning, and they're worthless.
That's what I was going to say. The general doctor.
Like, oh yeah,
you got a sore throat.
Yeah, they're like,
and you could tell them.
I'm gonna send you to an ENT.
Well, to say you could tell them, dude, that you've been fucking. It's been 6 months of that.
Yeah,
and if you're short of you going to another doctor, basically, they'll just say, well, I don't know, have you tried resting it?
Yeah,
or I don't
try tea and honey.
And I'm not opposed to those things, but it seems bigger than that. There's no pain. It doesn't hurt. I'm not coughing things up or anything like that.
Your throat's recovering from the smoking.
maybe, but it was this bad when I was smoking hardcore, and it hasn't really improved. And so they're sending me to an ENT, but I don't know what this is. It's like I'm talking to the ENT people, and I don't mean to big stuff anybody, but at all. And I'm talking to her, and she's like, "We can get you in 2027." It's you're like, obviously I'm being facetious, but I'm like, look. I talk for a living, and this is, not that I'm looking for preferential treatment, but if there's anything that comes up that you can squeeze me in.
Right. Someone cancels.
I don't care when. I work from home. I'll drop what I'm doing and I'll come in. And she's like, I totally understand. So at this point, the fastest they can see me is in 3 weeks. Yeah. and they're like, that's really fast. And I'm like, fuck, man.
That's how all doctors are right now, man.
Dude, it's crazy. I don't ever remember this when I was a kid. It was like, oh, you something was wrong. We'll come in tonight. Come in tomorrow.
Yeah. Right.
That's just the way it was. This idea of, we can see you in early 2025.
I don't want to get into my mom's stuff too much, but my mom actually had some stuff the last few years, to be honest. I haven't talked about it much, but she's had some stuff the last few years.
Yeah.
And dude, like,
Vagine related, or is it, what is it?
I don't know. I'm not going to get into it.
Okay.
Some of it's pretty serious, actually. But
Fair enough.
But the point is, though, like, to your point here or whatever, like, serious stuff, man, where it's like, no, I need to get, like, a doctor's telling me I need to get this checked out. I'm like, yeah, we can see you in 2 months.
Yeah.
And it's like,
well, in 2 months it'll progress to full-blown AIDS.
Like, not just like I fucking, like, oh, my finger's bothering me. It's like, dude,
I've got a little mild rash, like, I can't seem to shake.
And it's crazy, dude. And the other thing to you, and I'm not trying to, I know I'm not smart, so I get it. I could never ever have been a doctor.
Very true.
I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. Over the last few years, stuff I've gone through, people I know have gone through, the regular just doctor, and I feel bad for them. I guess they got a lot of patience, but they fucking don't do shit.
Yeah.
If you don't get into a fucking person,
not really.
When I was going through that B12
Dude, I
shit,
think the nurses are more.
Yes,
yeah,
they are. They are.
You know what I mean? And I like my doctor. I really do. I do like her. She's a Spartan. You know, she was in all her Sparty garb today. Yeah. Congratulations on their big win today.
Yeah.
They're going to take on probably North Carolina next, which is going to be a problem. But, so she was all in her green. I'm like, wasn't St. Patrick's Day a few days ago?
Right.
Spartans are playing today at noon. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
So
no, but it's like, and I know you've gone through stuff. I know your family's gone through some stuff too.
Yeah.
And I went through some stuff a few years ago where I'm going into them. I'm like, I remember I went to the fucking, I never talked about it, but at one point I had like essentially a B12 crash, and I didn't know what was going on. I ended up going to the emergency room, and I told them I'd had a few drinks the night before. I'm talking like 2 or 3 beers.
I wouldn't even fucking mention that.
Yeah. I shouldn't have. I did for some reason.
They'll blame it all on that.
That's what they try to do.
Yeah, of course they did.
They gave me IVs and shit. They're like, oh, you're dehydrated. I'm like,
2 beers.
Dude, I've drinking like 30 beers. I know what dehydration is.
Yes,
this isn't that.
Yes.
I went several times for weeks after that. I'm feeling weird.
Yeah.
These are things. Nothing. Finally, they did some regular blood work. And I still had to mention to my doctor that. And he did different types of tests, I guess. Which, by the way, when they do your blood work, why don't they just do all the fucking tests every time? Why do I have to tell them something?
Probably make you want to pay for it.
So what?
Yeah.
Then let me pay for it.
Yeah, it's.
But anyway, sorry, I went on a rant.
No, it's crazy. I've gone through the same thing, and I find myself pointing out, like, look, I'm not doing blow.
Yeah,
I'm not. And I was like, I've been doing Zen basically for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Like, it's been on my mind for a while, and there hasn't been really, I mean, mild improvement, but not much. It's not painful. I'm not like nauseous or anything. All they can do is ENT, and now I got to get a tube stuck down my throat. Garrett, I'll have to talk to you about that off the air.
I'll give you some pointers.
See if that's good, bad, how you get through that,
I'll teach
how
you.
you do it. I don't know what to do.
You just, by the way,
I'll
and
teach you.
I hate,
watch it, young man.
I hate to do like a pop culture reference, but that right when you said that and how you were saying it, it's so dumb, I know, but it reminded me of like
Actually, they're not doing that. It's through my nose. But,
when Michael Scott had to get a
I still got pointers.
on The Office. Michael had to get a fucking what was it? Colonoscopy or something, and he brought in
the gay guy.
guy.
What was his name? Hector? Not Hector.
Fucking damn,
the
man.
Mexican dude.
Yeah. He brought him in though to ask him like
Oscar. Thank you.
What should I expect?
Yeah.
Like what should I
so
expect in
funny.
the feeling and the
You know what though? If you're being totally honest with yourself, I could see why a straight guy would be like, well, let me ask my gay friend. Is was like,
hey, you've taken it up the ass.
Yeah, it's a medical procedure, asshole. That's what it feels like, is a medical procedure. There's nothing hot about it. Stop it.
I know.
It's not like they put on sensual music and dim the lights and slowly. No, it's a fucking medical procedure.
And I should. Oh, sorry.
So hopefully there's no like, I don't know what it would be, polyps or, whatever on my vocal cords, because there's different things they would have to do. So in 3 weeks. So bear with me. By
the way, I should say just real quick, I'm sure doctors know more. I'm sure they're under stress too. Maybe they have more. I think they're shoved in and out of like they have to diagnose all these people. I think more than they ever did, faster than they ever did. There's a pressure to do it. So I'm sure.
Dude, I found out. To your point,
I just don't want to rail on them too hard. I know they're smart. I know they went to school. I
know we missed one earlier. Let's look for the bell.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, I said it, and I kind of held off.
Oh, you better do one. Ryan Fiorini will lose his shit if we don't give him a makeup bell ring. Go ahead. There you go. Ryan, that was for you. He probably doesn't listen anymore anyway.
No, he's here.
Is he here? Okay, good. Whew. God, I love me some Fiorini.
Actually, both the nerds are here because Aaron just gave us a super chat. This show is still the best on the air. Hate from Texas, and then 2 dick emojis. There,
oh, nice.
Dick emojis.
Yeah, those are for you. You can have those ones.
All right, thank you.
You can take the dick emoji.
Hell yeah.
I can't remember what I was going to say.
I was talking about just doctors and how much they do have.
I found out today. So she. I don't want to get too much in her shit. Not that it's real personal stuff, but she's like merging with another doctor's office, and I'm like, well. She's like, yeah, we've agreed to take on their patients. I was saying I couldn't believe you got me in so fast.
Yeah.
Because I called her office yesterday, and they were like, we can see you tomorrow morning. And I was like, what? And she goes, and so I mentioned that, like, I can't believe how fast you got me in to see you. She goes, well, that's about to change. And so that led to me going, what happened? And so they're merging, and there was supposed to be 200 more patients. I was like,
oh, God.
Holy fuck, that sounds like a lot. Well, it turns out it's 700 more patients. Right. I'm like, how many do you see now? 1,000.
And what sucks about
1,000 in one office. She has 1,000 patients.
So how do you think that's gonna go? Right. No, it's not.
And maybe they all do, and that's just the norm. I don't know, but it seemed like a crazy fucking number to me.
That's too many.
No,
that's a lot.
I won't say much more, because like you said, whatever. But my sister and I were talking about it recently too, and. Look, again, I'm not trying to take away from whatever they know. I know they went to college. I get it. But, like, my sister's like, she said a few things recently herself where it's like, I'm not going to go. And it's not because she doesn't want to spend the money. She has decent health care through Mongo and Aaron Rodgers and stuff. But she's just like, they don't tell you anything almost anymore. Unless it's really rough, and then they get you to a specialist.
Yeah.
If you just go to the doctor, sleep or take a day off.
Yeah. Okay. Believe me,
have you been under stress? They did that thing. Like, have you been sleeping okay?
Yeah.
No one is.
Yeah.
So let's just assume.
How about we get a camera down here and take a look? How about we do that? Do you think if I wasn't restful last night, I would have come rushing in here?
Right.
No. It's to the point where my lazy ass is making an appointment with you.
Yeah.
That should tell you it's time to put a camera down there and see what the fuck's going on.
It's whatever.
Yeah. This is not stress. I'm always under stress.
Everyone's under stress. We're all under stress.
Assume our diets all suck. We're all under stress.
Yeah.
We all do shit we're not supposed to. Okay?
Yeah, I'm under stress. I read Aaron's super chat wrong. Is this show still on the air? Like, you meant it as a question.
So it went from a compliment to
see?
Yeah. Fucker.
And they said hate from Texas, which I did say hate from Texas. Yeah.
He's not in Texas.
He's just sending hate from Texas. That's all it says. This show's still on the air. Hate from Texas.
He's not in Texas. And maybe
he could be on
business. Could be visiting.
He's a big business guy. He's a traveler, world traveler.
No.
That Ron. So maybe he is in Texas. I don't know. Lastly, before we get to some stories,
finally,
on 33 minutes here,
we're catching up.
I did want to acknowledge it. My folks, my mom has been here for 2 weeks now. She was supposed to come for a week and just kind of help me organize. She's here 2 weeks now and canceled her flight to go back to California a couple days ago to stay another week at least because it's life-saving. But today is her and my dad's like 54th anniversary today. And so my dad actually called me a cock blocker last week when she was changing her flight. I was like, dude, he's like, yeah, there's a word for guys like you. Cock blocker. I was like,
that's hilarious. Did you ever think you'd hear your dad calling you a cock blocker?
No, never.
Or say those words?
And then I found out one of my other guys.
Which insinuates he was planning on, planning on the pee.
Yeah. Damn it, Jesus. Yeah, I know what it insinuates, you fucking goofball. Yes, I know what it means. No. Yeah, I was insinuating on it. He was gonna put his thingy in her thingy.
Two insinuates are still getting on.
And then I find out. So there's this guy that's been here too, right?
Nice.
And he's been working on the house.
I guess I'm attracted to a dude.
He's one of the guys doing some very critical work here in stages, and he's been dealing a lot with my mom, who knows a lot about this stuff.
Yeah.
And so we're sitting there, and I come outside, and my mom's outside, she's laughing her ass off. I'm like, what?
Oh, boy.
Like, someone pulled their dick out or something? What's going on in here? And she goes, because everything that's been up there in the way needed to be moved. And so a lot of it's in the garage, a lot of it's boxed up, a lot of it's in that fucking wood room, right? And so the wood room is dust and cords and shit and fucking old laptops and boxes. It's just filled with shit.
Yep.
And she's getting up off the couch and trips on a cord and starts to fall. He goes to catch her and just grabs full titty. Like full titty. He
Kramered her.
He Kramered her bigly. And it apparently made for some waves. I mean, she didn't care. She's like, I haven't grown up like that in a while. You know, she was kind of digging it.
Nice.
Like,
damn.
Yeah. And yes.
And on her anniversary.
It didn't happen today. It happened a couple days ago. And but yeah, on the heels of being called a cock blocker, to have your mom groped by another man, it was just like, and then to
Causing
hear
a lot of
about it
problems
from your
over here.
mom, it's like, dude, I can't have my
You're
parents
gonna go from cock blocker to home wrecker.
Yeah, exactly. It's fair, but I can't have my parents discussing, you know, sex on any. It's like your parents. You know what I mean? Like funny. Mike and Fran. I mean, you know, they're doing it doggy style probably as we speak. And if you can picture that for a minute, it's probably happening. But it's so fucking like me picturing Mike and Fran right now. And Mike is deep and he's thrusting hard. He's in and out quick. And Fran's taking it like the champ she is.
Maybe even a dildo up the ass.
Maybe. But for me, you think he could? He could.
You know, we never know. What
Could.
These days.
You never know.
Sorry.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
But for me to visualize that, I can do it. And I'm all right with that. I'm okay with that.
I know.
But my mom, my dad.
It's different when it's not your parents.
Yeah, it's way different.
The other funny thing is,
different.
I think it really only pertains mostly to your family.
You got this. Come on. You got this.
I can't
Eric,
say it.
relax. Eric, just spit it out already.
Pertains mostly to your family. Like, mostly, you don't, even if it's your buddies, like, you don't necessarily sit there and talk about it.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't really have
It's
a big
worse with
deal.
your parents, though.
Yeah.
It's worse like your sister sucks.
But if you're talking about,
my brother, it's like, that boy.
Well, that's brothers. You know, you usually
go get
high
it,
five
bro.
them.
I high five my brother if he talks about something like that.
Obviously, he
like,
washes his hands first, but you give him a high five.
yeah,
after.
absolutely.
Like, nice.
Absolutely.
But it's like
nice.
your
My
parents?
sister, it's like, you know what? I know you're married with children, but knock it off.
Right.
Act like you've been there. Don't tell me that shit.
Right.
My
We all
parents,
get it.
it's like another level. I just don't want them ever feeling comfortable talking to me about that. Like, how dare you call me a cock blocker?
Speaking of parents, my dad just gave us $5 super chat. Cock blockers.
Cock blockers.
Yep.
There you go.
I remember when my mom started using emojis and I didn't like it. I was like, what is this? Like, this is no. No.
Turn it down,
Don't
Ma.
be
Who do you
giving me
think
a
you are?
thumbs up or something.
Oh, that's funny. All right. So there you go. 37 minutes of what's been going on.
Let's do a show.
How have you guys been doing? You guys doing
great.
all right?
Oh, I will share. Can I share one story?
Sure,
I don't want to
can.
be.
Oh, yeah.
I won't. I'm only sharing this because I know no one gives a fuck anymore about the fact that I have a niece. I get it.
Yeah.
But I do think they would find this entertaining. I did change my first shitty diaper.
Oh, I bet you did a
recently.
bad job of it.
I was told I did a good job. But I mean,
Was powder involved? Wipes
they
involved?
don't do that. So you know what happened was
Is powder outdated? Do they
I
not
don't
do
know
that
if other people don't use it. They don't use it. Maybe people still use it. Maybe that's something that comes later. I'm not sure.
No, it
you know.
comes right away.
Okay,
But,
so then
but it could be something that it's like, oh my God, I can't believe he said powder. They know that causes ass cancer for 10 years. We don't use that anymore.
I don't know. They don't use it for whatever reason. So I had my first like solo actual babysitting gig. Like nobody else there, just me.
Wait,
and
all
Kaylee.
these times you've been.
My parents come over a lot of times.
Oh, okay.
We come
That's
over
fair.
together.
So the baby just
Yeah.
shits itself. You're like, Mom!
Yeah.
It's an hour
They
drive, and
Yeah.
they like to see her too. And
Sure.
so, but there was a situation where they couldn't do it, and I actually did a solo babysitting gig. And so the thing was then is when they left, they're like, "Hey, you might not have to do it. If she just pees herself, kind of don't worry about it. But if you smell something, then you're gonna have to do it."
Was it an overnight thing?
It was not overnight, but it was like they were gone till like they didn't go. It was a Saturday night. They went out. They had a couple's dinner downtown in Detroit, and I was there till like 1 a.m. or something like that. So. But anyway, yeah, she'd eaten, and about an hour later, like I'm like,
boy.
like I said, they were like, yeah, she just pisses, whatever. But like if he shits, and I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to do this and whatever. And it was not the most fun experience. I did it, but
did you cover your nose or anything? Or
no, I didn't do. But fuck, man,
what was she doing? Seeing your mug wiping her down? Was she like, oh Jesus, this is new?
Yeah. Well, I will admit that I did like kind of a fucking a cop out where I gave her a little phone. Give me a phone, but like Little Bear, this little cartoon she likes on.
Oh my God, you're getting her on screens already?
No, they're actually pretty good about it. But like things like that where it's me by myself.
Yeah.
She's like,
yeah, screens are a lifesaver, but they're also ruining society.
I'm just the babysitter. I need the babysitter.
Yeah.
At the very beginning.
Oh, it's what I would do, but I'm a selfish prick. But,
right.
If you're a parent doing that, it sucks. Yeah,
don't give me your kids.
I would say this. At the very beginning, they were kind of doing it a little more like they were doing, and then they kind of have.
How old is she?
She's a year and a half almost.
Year and a half? Wow.
They've weaned her off big time off of them, but for me, dude, I'm by myself.
Yeah.
I'm doing a diaper change.
I get it.
I'm giving her a fucking I'm giving her a fucking video to watch.
She wants to watch Pornhub, I'd let it go.
Right.
Knock yourself out, kid.
But I gotta say, like, and I know my sister would hate you talking about this, but it's so wild to me because I'm like changing this girl.
Yeah. There's a vagine right in your
there's
face.
There's something about a dick that wouldn't be as weird to me. I don't know how to explain it, but it wouldn't be. And I'm like,
you've always hated vagines, even baby ones. It's just not your thing.
I opened it up, man, and there was just a load of shit in there, and it just reeked, and I had to fucking sit there and wipe it off.
Right up the back.
Yep.
Oh, God. So do you have to go like vagine towards a-hole? Vagine towards a-hole?
Yeah.
You don't want to mush it up.
No. Yeah, there is a certain way you definitely have to do it. Yeah. And they
did they teach you?
Yeah, they showed me all this before. Or whatever,
did your sister teach you like on herself, or did she teach you on the baby?
No, actually, Mark did the teaching.
Oh, God. Did he get down on his back and lift his legs?
Yeah, he's like, all right, I need you to wipe. Don't get it on my balls.
Yeah. No. You touch the balls, you lose.
No. But I was super nervous about it. I made sure I like actually texted them the next day, like, "What did it look okay?" And they're like, "Yeah, it looked fine," and everything. Yeah. So that was kind of interesting.
We thought the tongue marks were weird, but yeah, it looked all right.
That was wild, though, man.
Well,
and it was crazy being held responsible for another me, like for a human being, for that long. But
dude, when I'm uncle in charge of like little humans, I am screen god. I am like, I don't give a fuck what you're watching.
You play video games, you go watch a movie.
Yeah, and what movie you're in, what video game, I don't care. Not my problem. I'm on the TV watching football, and dude, it's remarkable. It is remarkable what a screen will do to a child.
Right.
It's horrible for them.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. But if you don't care about what they're going to grow up to be, what kind of sociopath you're raising, it's not my kid. Like, the fact is, I don't care who they are. They won't be hungry. They won't want to do something. They won't be bored. They won't call your fucking name. All the things that they usually bother you about are gone out the window for hours. You could go 6 hours and they'll sit in the same damn spot and just watch screens.
Well, just like we would have if we had it.
We had it. Yeah,
for sure.
But it makes babysitting so easy. Yep. Like the idea of playing with them.
Well, I mean, I like playing with them, but
I do too. But if it comes down to like my team's playing, and
I gotcha.
It's like no, for the next 3.5 hours. I don't want to be bothered.
I mean, you guys go sit over there.
You guys go over there and watch whatever the hell you're going to watch because I can't be bothered.
The other funny thing was we took her to the play structure around us, and this is the only reason. It has nothing to do with her, but like, holy fuck, I need to find a way next summer when I'm around, or whenever I'm around next time, that I could just be like, oh, I'm going to take Kaylee to the park because holy shit, there was about 10 at least smoking hot moms there. And I was like,
those ones are already taken.
I was looking for rings. Looking for for that single mom.
But they don't always wear rings.
I know.
That's the problem. They're looking for it. You can still get in there.
Really?
Yeah, if they're not wearing a ring, maybe they're looking for it.
If they're not wearing a ring, it's not. I can't do anything about it. That's on them.
Yeah. I ran into longtime monster Lisa. She's adorable. Yeah. She's adorable.
Yeah,
she's
I saw that picture.
Yeah, that picture of her and Cece.
Image.
She wasn't wearing a wedding ring, but she's married. I didn't look at that, and I didn't even notice. My mom said it to me. She's she wasn't wearing. I'm like, she's married. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So I don't think that means much. I see that a lot. Lots of guys are wearing those rubber rings.
Yeah. And
lots of chicks are not wearing wedding rings. So I
don't know.
They're
not, but I can't. it's a starting point.
Yeah.
You have to start. If they're not, I have to assume at that point that it's on them to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm married." But
yeah.
I'm just saying there was a 70-degree day out. It was that day that we had must have been a record high. I don't know what it was.
God, yeah, when it was 70.
And it was like there was at least 10 moms there that were fucking hot, like really good looking.
Imagine just being
you can
at the
accomplish
park.
that with a puppy too.
I was gonna say, imagine being at the park and Aegis comes up. Hi, that's my niece.
Yeah.
I know.
This is my
She's reaching
kid.
for a pepper spray.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
it got me thinking, and I know these are dumb sitcoms. I get that they're not real storylines, but in the sitcoms where they have the deal like, oh, I'm going to just tell them it's my kid, and oh, yeah, single dad.
Yeah.
And it's like, where does that really, the idea if I were to tell these people at the park, like,
that's my daughter.
And, mom left, and then what? So I bang her once, and then after that I have to explain that, like,
it
it
was
was
totally
my
full
kid.
of shit to you.
yeah, by the way, it
trying to
was
get
my
laid.
niece.
Sorry.
It
It does lead into a story that I had that I was going to do a couple stories down. But
right.
I might as well do them now. And it's more about the changing of the diaper.
Gotcha.
And the parents of Lacey Fletcher have been sentenced to 20 years behind bars. Sheila and Clay Fletcher, that is.
Good.
And the more I get into this story, because the names might not jump off the page at you, but you will remember that the formerly known as Detroit Cast covered this story rather extensively a couple years ago, I believe.
I'm trying to think then.
So they had a daughter, and it's kind of appropriate. They lived in Slaughter, Louisiana. And so they were indicted on murder charges after a rather gruesome discovery in their home back in 22. They had a daughter. So Lacey Fletcher was the daughter, 36 years old, weighed just 96 pounds when she was found dead on the maggot-infested couch with ulcers on her underside. I'm assuming that means ass.
Oh, jeez.
And fecal matter, that is shit, for those that don't know the medical term.
Yeah.
Fecal matter crushed into her face, chest, abdomen. That was her couch.
That's the couch.
God.
Yeah. Are the listeners seeing that?
Oh, they can
The
now.
viewers?
Hopefully they're not eating.
Yeah. Estimates are that she was on that couch for continuous 12 years.
Yep.
Never left it. Her parents claimed that though Lacey suffered from severe, and I think it's fair to say rather severe Asperger's, she had a touch of the Isis, but hers was even more severe than our dear Isis's. She had a little bit of Asperger's, some social anxiety, sounding familiar, Isis. She was of sound mind, and the sofa was where she felt comfy and safe. Judge Catherine Jones rejected those claims.
Yeah,
saying,
safe for 12 years.
Yeah.
For 12 years, she felt safe. Yeah.
They had allowed Lacey to die through their neglect. Judge Jones imposed a 40-year sentence, suspended 20 of those in lieu of 5 years probation if they were to get out. Clay and Sheila Fletcher, the judge said, continually chose the path of least resistance when it came to the care of their daughter. We can argue about whether or not this process took 3 months, 6 months, or 3 years. I don't really care. This was a tragedy. The truth is that Lacey laid on a couch and slowly died because she got no medical or mental health care. Images of the couch show that Lacey had been fused to the couch.
Most of the images show Lacey fused into the couch.
Yeah.
It's
they
blurred
it
out.
out.
By the way, you know what's funny, dude? This doesn't really technically have to do this, but I was watching a video one time. It kind of does, but like about guy blasts leftists on abortion or whatever. You know, those are these videos where they have public speaking and he destroys a libtard
He owns a libtard.
owns a libtard on
Yeah,
abortion or whatever. And so she was talking to the girls about abortion, and then same thing. Define a woman. Well, define when a baby is a baby.
Right.
Well, this that, and then eventually the girl kind of says, well. Because she doesn't want to say it's obviously in the mother's body.
Right.
Well, when the baby can sustain their own life. And she's like, well, when is that? And, because reality is having
12,
a fucking baby.
18.
Right. And my point is so it's like, and the girl, of course,
This one's 36.
Right. Of course, the girl just doesn't have an answer for that.
Yeah.
Because she says, and so, but when you look at this, they can't. You need a fucking person. So if you're saying the baby's a human when they can sustain their own life, that's like 8.
Yeah.
Maybe 10.
Well,
maybe 15.
there was a day. There was a day when you're talking about the days of the Great Depression.
Yeah.
And people were just like, I don't know what to do. I can't afford
he's
this.
send him to a factory.
Just go. And it's like the train station's that way, kid. See if you can hitch a ride and figure it out. And people did that. those are true stories.
But just when you tell me about this and this person arguing abortion and the reason that abortion should be okay is like, well, until they can sustain their life, then they're a human.
Yeah.
Well, that's a long fucking.
That can be a
look
long
what happened
time.
to this fucking girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She needs
she
a
was
person.
found dead, sunken into a waste-filled hole in the couch in January of 22. Defense attorneys said that due to Lacey's age, she was fully competent, was old enough to make her own decisions. Nice try.
Yeah, age, but not
lawyer.
mentality.
Yeah. Really, do you think this is someone that could make sound decisions for herself? That picture on the bottom right, the black and white one, is haunting to me because that's the image I remember when this story first came out. I remember the couch she's fused into. So she's sideways fused into this couch. Stephen Moore, their attorney, of course, the parents' attorney, said, they loved her to death. I'm like, just stop the sentence right there.
Yeah, no, they loved her to death.
Literally to death. I don't think love is the proper word for that, right? Is that an adjective?
It's more just to death.
Is love the adjective there?
They neglected her to death.
They neglected her to death, yeah. They loved her to death, and that is the true sentiment of what the Fletchers are. Lacey had bone visible from severe wounds and sores when found. Bone visible.
I wonder if you're a lawyer like that, you take this case and you're just like, I gotta do it.
I gotta put a case on. Everyone's entitled to a defense.
Right, and you have to sit there and come up with the defense.
Yeah. Even the Nazis got a defense.
Yep.
I mean, she was infested with maggots while she was still alive. Oh. You ever seen maggots? A pile of maggots?
Yeah.
It's fucking disgusting.
That's fucking terrible.
The infestation included the area around her genitals. I'm going to tell you right now what they mean by that.
Yeah. They were going in there.
They mean vagina and asshole.
Yeah.
Is what they mean. Lacey was homeschooled after 9th grade. At the age of 14, psychologist David Hopp said she suffered severe social anxiety. Lacey had a below-average IQ and suffered from autism. He saw her for 12 sessions between 2000 and 2002. In 2010, both Fletchers returned and told me she's refusing to leave the house, and in fact, had begun to refuse to leave the living room of the house. Neighbors said, we haven't seen Lacey for 15 years. And one of the neighbors was quoted, paraphrasing, but saying something like, she was the sweetest little kid. We used to see her playing and all that stuff all the time. And then it was like, I wonder if she got married or went to college. Like, what happened? And asked the dad, saw the dad outside, was like, hey, how's Lacey? Did she move out? Did she go to college?
What's up with that?
And, what's going on with Lacey? And dad was like, no, she's still here. She's doing great. And changed the subject.
What about that? How about that game last night?
Yeah, did you see that game last night? Extra innings again.
Crazy.
So, he thought she actually maybe got married, moved on. Autopsy report described her body covered in pressure ulcers and suffering chronic bone infection with polarizable fibers. Okay, that means fibers from the couch.
Yeah.
Ingrained in
She
her.
was becoming the couch.
And maggots embedded in the exposed surface of the bones.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, fuck's sakes, man.
I'm glad they're in prison, man. They should rot there.
Yeah, I agree. We'll throw this around the room when we finish these details, but I think I agree.
20 years in prison, 12 of those strapped to a couch. That's my rule.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, I'm all for not cruel or unusual punishment.
I wouldn't care
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Now, if you're some guy that got, even if you killed someone, if you're a gangbanger and they throw you in prison.
That shouldn't be treated as the same murder.
No, it's not the same murder at all.
It should not be the same murder.
No,
I think it should depend on who you killed.
I don't want that guy eating worms, okay?
Yeah.
I don't want him being fed maggots in his
Worst
fucking
case, you
potatoes.
took out another gangbanger. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That guy to me, it's like, they caught you. You were the slow one.
Yep.
They caught you, and now you're in prison.
That
guy
is a
should get.
hilarious point, by the way. The
Right?
third murders, the idea that people that are in gang, like as if it should be treated as the same guy this family who fucking just
12 years,
elected a 12-year-old kid to death. Like, that's not the same.
No.
They're part of the game.
Yeah.
Like,
we all know what the game is out here on the streets, boys.
Right.
Come on. So maggots were present in the perineum and areas of the decubitus ulcers. Isis, can you tell everyone? I know you can.
What?
The perineum. Tell them where these ulcers, maggots were present.
The perineum?
The perineum. You know where the perineum is. Or the perineum.
I'm gonna say the vagina.
You're very close. It's the small strip of land between the asshole and the vagina.
The taint. The woman's
taint? The taint. Well, the perineum guys have perineums too, between the balls and the anus.
Gotcha.
But yes, so you were close. I'll give you that one. if the maggots would have appeared after death, there would have been at least a minimal presence of eggs or larvae in the region of the eyes, ears, and nose.
She was pregnant. They're just flies.
I was like, wait a minute. Did you read something I didn't?
No,
You're on
she was
Google
pregnant.
now.
No,
Did they
no,
updated? She was pregnant. Holy fuck.
Just with flies.
Yeah. There was no evidence of decomposition at the time of the autopsy. Therefore, it was determined that the maggots were present prior to death.
Oh, great.
The forensic pathologist headed one of her findings.
What are they doing in the fucking house? Like, I get they don't care. I get that whatever these people
they are busy.
But what
probably.
are they doing? Like, in the house, they still have to be doing their own shit. Yeah. Like, they're watching TV, right?
They
or
just
something.
put her off in like the corner of a back room, basically.
No, she's in the living room. She's in the main living room. They probably had to sit next to her at the TV.
I mean, are they...
Yeah, the pathologist headed one of her findings: severe chronic neglect, chronic protein malnutrition, and acute starvation. There was feces, both crusted and fresh, present on the body, including face, chest, abdomen, perineum, and extremities.
Who even finally called this?
So how did she get? She's just flailing with shit. She's got shit everywhere, all over.
It's all over the place.
The medical expert described Lacey as extremely dirty, matted, knotted hair with shit and maggots. There were insect bites to her left ear, face, and arms that happened before she died. Her hair was extremely matted into a 24 by 18-inch knotted ball. That is a 2 foot
That doesn't look as bad as
by
I thought
foot and a half knotted
whole room.
ball.
That does not look as bad as I thought it would have looked.
The room?
Yeah.
Well, they're not hoarders.
Yeah, but I'm just like, again, I just don't understand what
Just
they're...
a rotten dead body in the couch right there in the corner.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying I just would have expected it to be even worse.
Yeah.
No, they must have just been back here, just walking right past it. Just don't
Yeah.
even go in the living room.
You called it. Walking right past it.
Right past it. Right
Yeah.
past the decaying corpse.
I mean, the rest of the couch is in great shape.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say. I mean, it really
You
is.
probably
Like,
sell
if
that
you
just
were-
for a little reupholstery. It'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't know that you could sell that. Well, maybe you could.
Like I said, a little reupholstery.
Like, I'm shocked I don't see
Need
more
some TLC.
like empty beer cans on the fucking table or cigarette, buds or something.
Look,
or...
they have baby wipes right there, like
Yeah.
boxes of them.
No, they look
there.
empty, though.
They do look empty. They ran out of them. And they're like, ugh, what's the point?
Yeah, those were the only 3 they ever bought.
No, that
They
one's
bought-
No, that one's got some in
that
it.
one's got some in it.
They bought those 3.
Wait, there's baby
There's
powder
some
and
powders,
lotion.
some lotions.
Someone had a plan to do something.
Just never fucking
It
did
just
it.
never did. Holy shit.
It's just not as dirty as I thought it would be. But
The fingernails are natural, long, and extremely dirty. With underlying, there's a theme here. Underlying, what do you think was under those fingernails?
Maggots?
No,
feces?
Feces.
Okay.
Maggots. I don't know that maggots would dig under the
I think they
fingernail.
would. I think if they
Yeah.
could get it anywhere, they're going to get in there.
The toenails are natural, long, curled under, extremely dirty with underlying
Feces.
feces.
That time I
you know
got
what I
it.
was gonna say?
fecal matter. Yes.
Should have worded it like a fucking
How do you-
Jeopardy. What is feces?
What
Alex?
is what is? Well, we would have accepted fecal matter or feces
Yeah.
or shit. Very
Yep.
good, gentlemen.
$500.
How do you get feces under the toenails?
You shit and you walk through it.
She's scratching
She's
herself.
not walking though. She's
You're
curled
right,
up
you're
in a
right.
ball.
Curled up in a ball, so her legs
she's-
have to be tucked underneath her. She's
Yeah.
shitting into her legs.
But she gets itchy, or she's just,
Maybe,
it's-
but no, I
when
think
it-
'cause-
when feces gets dry, that's gonna get itchy and shit. She's gonna itch
Well, if
that.
you look at the couch, half of it is where she is. Like she's on half the couch, which means she's curled up in a ball and probably shitting on her own legs.
Yeah, you're right. That's how you get feces under
I wanna
very,
know what a
very long and
day-to-day-
dirty toenails.
Oh.
I want to know what an evening was like for this family.
Yeah.
Like, what were they doing?
Right. Lacey was wearing just a T-shirt. That bush was never kempt either.
No.
You know, that thing was absolutely 36 years of growth. 36 years.
That's how
of
old she
just-
ended up being?
Yeah.
Holy shit. I thought-
And they said that it was excessive. And I think excessive is a generous word in
Yeah.
a story like this. Excessive urine and feces underneath the victim
We saw
and
the
on the
couch.
what
floor.
about the blood? There would have been blood down there, too. Dried blood?
Oh,
bit.
from she probably wasn't even having periods. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Probably wasn't even having
Oh.
them. At 96
Yeah.
pounds and that malnutrition.
Okay.
Or malnourished, I bet she wasn't having
But
them.
there would have been at some point, and then wouldn't have gone.
I mean, that's a
anywhere.
bright spot in the story if you're looking for one, that she was not having periods. That's kind of nice.
You don't even know she wasn't. You're just assuming.
I'm
she
just
was.
assuming she wasn't. Otherwise,
might
they
be a
would.
little bit
They've
better.
mentioned everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, they're talking about maggots and feces in the perineum. You'd think they'd mention blood. The wounds in the buttocks and head area were so severe that the bone was visible. Based on a hole created in the couch cushion where she sat, it appeared the victim had been in that position for quite some time.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a hole.
How
How can you do that to another
Like,
person? don't
I
understand
felt
that.
bad about Pants being in a house with dust.
Yeah.
And my mom felt
Just
really
a dusty
bad.
construction house.
And I felt like, oh, he's fine. Big boy's fine. He'll
Yeah.
deal with this. And my mom was like, you're an asshole. Where is your empathy? And I'm like, I was starting to really feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what a shit father I am. I haven't combed his hair enough, and he's in this dirty house.
Yeah.
I feel like a great dad
no,
now.
yeah,
all of a sudden.
you're good.
He's not bathed in maggots and feces.
No, he's chilling on my couch in the basement.
He's
perfectly
doing great.
fine. Yeah, he's doing great.
He's doing great. How do we get to this point as human beings? Like, that your own daughter, I just don't understand. I can't fathom
Right.
how you get to a point where your kid is just shitting. Imagine through that hole in that couch what
Yeah.
the sheriffs found when they like lifted that couch up. I mean, she grew through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those that are
What
just
do you remember what led
listening
to
to
her finally
us,
getting, like, why did this finally get revealed? Do you remember it all? Because I'm just curious.
back in 22?
Yeah, like, what finally was it where someone was like, hey,
I think the parents called and said that their daughter died.
well, that's stupid.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
Like, what do you
you've
think?
gone 15 years and no one's
throw her in
fucking
a
seen her.
closet then. If
Throw her
no
in-
one's asking questions on a real level,
Dude.
then just, what are you doing?
add an addition onto your house and bury it in fucking cement.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I know the neighbor asked 1 or 2 questions, but that's it. So
Yeah.
no one's coming and asking.
And he fucked right off. He was like, I guess the guy doesn't want to talk about it. She's doing great.
Yeah.
He wasn't calling.
So it's like, it just
protective
seems odd to
services.
me that you wouldn't just fucking do
This
something.
is, by
Yeah,
the
her
way,
mother called 911.
That is, what a
Yeah, she
moron.
finally died.
Well, she said she found her daughter not breathing. That's what she told 911. is she
that
just,
was her biggest
just discovered
concern?
her daughter not breathing.
Yeah.
What did she think was going to happen when they came and she fucking like?
And you try to get off with, she's a grown ass woman. She can make her own decisions. It's like,
yeah, she's 30 years
clearly-
old. Clean yourself up.
Yeah.
There.
Clearly she couldn't. This is my nightmare, by the way, because these are parents. These aren't just somebody else's parents. These are her parents.
Yeah.
Now, as a single dude who's getting old and probably going to not be here for much longer,
Right.
You know, the position I'm in, if I get put in some care facility, I know 2 things. If I get a white nurse, she's probably going to pinch me or stick me with poison or something.
Yeah.
And a black nurse is going to slap and hit me.
Yeah.
I mean, that. I'm just going based on the stories I've seen.
Yeah.
It seems like white bitch nurses are, they might stick you with a needle or something or fucking pinch you.
Yeah, just be a little rough.
The
while they're
black
doing
ones
work
will
on you.
fucking slap you across the face if
I've
you
seen those videos.
drop your toothbrush, And who's going to listen to me? No one.
Right.
It's my nightmare.
Who
Like,
will live longer, your mom or you?
Yeah, now that I met your mom, she's a little more spry.
I mean,
Yeah,
she's pretty
dude.
spry, dude.
She got more energy.
Yeah. No, the guys upstairs are like, dude, your mom's a rock star. I'm like, I
Right.
know. But it pisses my dad off because he's like, yeah, I know. She seems robotic, but she's not.
Yeah.
She's 75 years old.
No,
Knock it
I'm
off.
just kidding.
No, but no,
I never
it's
guessed.
true. She's unbelievable. She's awesome. She's awesome. No, I don't know. The only thing I have going for me is my sister. Because
Yeah.
the warden won't give a shit about me. The warden would put me in
Yeah.
in one of those hospitals. She'd probably could try to get a break on the price.
Yeah.
So I'd get one of those ones with really subpar nurses that definitely spit in my food and slap me.
Right.
That would be the warden. I hope G would look out for me, but maybe
Yeah,
not.
well.
We're on the fence there. My sister is my saving grace. I gotta go before
Yeah.
her, and she can't lose her sanity.
Yeah.
If she loses her
Yeah.
mind, I'm fucked.
Right.
Fucked.
I know my whole family, my mom is kind of the figurehead who does all the planning for everything,
Yeah,
gets everyone's shit sorted. So
You
if
need
she
'em.
goes, everyone's gone.
Gone.
It's a problem.
Trouble.
Like the whole family's
Yeah.
going to have a problem.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's because they're terrible mothers or great mothers.
It's great for her.
No, because they could be just terrible, awful mothers, yours and mine.
Yeah.
Because they didn't teach us to be
That.
You know what I mean?
She tried. I get a little bit
Yeah,
of it. I'm just not. You know what it is for me?
mine
Is I
tried
also got a
too.
little bit too much of my dad in me, where I'm just kind of like, fuck this shit. I'm going to bed.
Yeah. I got that from my dad.
Yep.
So yeah, it's not good. But yeah, what a horrible story.
That's
for,
fucking
God,
crazy,
Lacey.
dude.
Yeah, and
Gee,
according to this, I was going to say she mom called January 3rd, 2022, but believes that she died a day or two before.
Oh Jesus.
So it's possible
Believes.
that's probably the mom saying, I haven't checked on her in 2 days.
Yeah. And some of these pathologists would say you didn't check on her for 12 years.
And Stir Crazy comes in with a good question for Big E that says, would you?
No. I
well, some of those pictures.
yeah, I'd have to.
I mean, if we cleaned her up.
well, yeah. I mean, if you
Yeah.
clean her up.
Yeah.
I like as long as you're not fat. That's really my main criteria.
Well, she's not. 96
No, she's 94 pounds, man.
There you go.
No, was it 94?
I think it was 94, 96. Either way,
Either
2
way,
pounds.
yeah.
I don't like big girls.
Jesus, I'm with you, buddy. I get it.
I feel so bad, but that's what it is.
It is what it is. There's lots of women out there that don't like fat guys, tall guys, short guys.
You know what's the funny thing about that is? That's the funny thing. Everybody else is allowed to say, well, I don't like this or I like this. You say I don't like fat people, and it's just like, what a monster.
Well,
but everybody else is allowed to have a fucking
I'm not a big
type.
fan of fat people. I had a story, actually, just for you.
Oh, boy.
Jesus. And it was Wade buried down here. I probably wasn't going to get to it, but
yeah,
it's about this actress in Hollywood. She's Latinx. She's one of the Latinx.
One of the Latinx.
Yeah, so I think she started in Mexico.
Gotcha.
Isa Gonzalez. Maybe you can EIZA. And she said she's contemplated making some drastic changes to her looks, like shaving her head, stuff like that, because
she shouldn't.
She's been told she's too hot for certain roles.
Oh, fuck off.
So
she's gonna get no. Fuck you.
Yeah, I know.
You're get,
let me read you the details. But I this is why I pulled this, because I thought this would personally upset you.
I fucking hate it.
The 34-year-old Mexican actress talked about going from being criticized by the Mexican press as a teen for not being pretty enough. Oh, you mean the awkward phase that every human goes through when they get goofy looking before they get hot?
Right.
Yeah, I found her Instagram. This is a problem.
Is she a problem? Yeah. Yeah.
I bet it's a real hindrance on her life so far.
Yeah. So she was not pretty enough as a teen. And then being unable to land roles in Hollywood because she was too hot for the part. I went through a lot of trouble with my body.
Does a lot.
Yeah. With my curves, with my look. We're seeing her curves. I mean, she's an absolute fucking knockout. Her titties are perfect. Her cans.
No, I'm gay, and I can admit this is hot.
She's hot. So she also said, I had a lot of trouble with my body, my curves, my look. It was really tough, Isis.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Tough having guys just throw fucking shit at you.
Life must be so hard with those six-pack abs.
Yeah.
Literally never having to pay for a goddamn meal in your life. Yeah.
And the Prada sponsorship.
Yeah. She also reacted to being called sexy and slammed the treatment of Latinx.
Oh, who was here? He was with Jake Gyllenhaal. Is that who that is that she's with?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So she reacted to being called sexy and slammed the treatment of Latinas in the entertainment industry, saying there's an overly sexualized idea of Latin women. It's so disappointing. It's so pathetic. Hey, sweetheart, I know you can only think about yourself, but all hot chicks get that.
I was going to say, don't worry about it, because with most Latin women and things like that, it's like, I think the rule is they get up till about 50 and then they become abuelas, which is like the Hispanic grandma.
Yeah, is that what it is?
They look hot right up until about 50 and then they're abuelas.
Abuelas, ooh.
Is she winning an Oscar here, or is she just handing one off?
She's just at the Oscars.
No, she's on the stage holding one. The other one, she's actually holding the Oscar, though. So I don't know if she was just giving it out as a present.
I don't think she's an Oscar.
Go on.
They would say Oscar winner.
Right there. Maybe she's handing it out, though.
Last year, that was so exciting. Baby Driver had 3 nominations and got to present.
Oh, I love that movie, too.
Oh, okay, so just...
Yeah, she was in that movie, so she wasn't
one of my
too
favorites.
hot for that movie.
Now I remember her. I was she looks familiar. She played the crazy bitch.
Okay. Well, it sounds like she's still playing that role.
Yeah.
So...
was there no big stretch, huh?
So was it a good movie? I'm not familiar with
Baby Driver's great. You're gonna love it.
Really?
It's it sounds kind of corny. It's basically a kid who's got kind of like a musical autism type deal, but he's a getaway driver for a crime crew.
Oh, wow.
And it's really cool because it's got Jamie Foxx, Kevin Spacey before the cancellation.
Oh, nice.
John Hamm's in it.
Okay, I love all those people.
Flea. He's in it.
Yeah, I love
the whole
Flea in
music.
movies,
But here's
yeah.
the best part: is the whole movie is set to music. So as the music's going on, they're like shutting car doors, shooting guns. It's all in time with the music of the movie.
Really?
Really fucking phenomenally done.
Wow. Okay. But by the way, I think she's wrong on this. I've known plenty of hot chicks. I've dated hot chicks. They all get treated like this, and people oogling them and sexualizing them. I've told this story before when Amy and I were out to dinner one day, and some guy came up to the fucking table while we were having dinner and just went, clearly you're on a date with your boyfriend here, but if things don't work out, I just wanted to give you my number. I'm like, I couldn't even be mad at the guy. I was like,
dude, that is bold.
Holy shit. And we just laughed, but it was like, holy shit, that really happened. Yeah. Agents would bring her out to Hollywood, put her up in a fucking hotel for months, for an entire summer.
Yeah.
And what do you know? They kind of expected to be able to drop by.
Yeah.
Like,
what a shock.
and she'd be like, get the fuck out of here. She just wasn't one of those girls.
Yeah.
And it probably cost her a career in Hollywood. That and being bitchy
Get the fuck out of my house now.
She was kind of bitchy. She was kind of a pain in the ass
Yeah.
on movie sets. Yeah, that didn't work in her favor. She did,
That will
she did a
hurt
few
you.
TV shows, and she'd call me from the set.
Yeah.
And I've never talked about this. She'd probably get mad at me, but dude, she'd call me sometimes. And she'd be like, "This fucking asshole director, blah blah blah," and I'd be like, "Well, I don't."
The director probably
I
is
don't know
being
if
an
the-
asshole.
Oh, you're taking the guy's side. Sure, I see. I'm like, you're playing a fucking one-line role in this thing. You're trying to get this off the ground. Maybe just do what the fucking director says. Holy shit, you're on Hill Street Blues right now. Fucking
Maybe just fucking accept it.
just do it. Accept it. Fucking.
I mean, the fucking thing, that's one thing. Like having a guy come to your apartment, not wanting to sell that part out of you, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to put out, you either have to.
Yeah.
You can maybe be a bitch, but put out. Or not be a bitch. Or,
one of the two.
But one of
but
those,
you better be a real sweetheart.
Yeah.
If you're trying to play the Hollywood game, and she was getting opportunity after opportunity. She was on TV shows. She was on Showtime all
One
the
of
time.
those
She had
two
a
things
show
you
on
gotta
Showtime.
do.
Like you
You
got to
have
be
to be
Taylor
super
Swift level
nice.
of angel to get famous as a woman who isn't putting out.
Yeah, and it was in the time in the '90s or early 2000s where it was like, guys were Harvey Weinstein.
I was gonna say Weinstein was still at his peak,
running wild.
Yeah, late '90s, early 2000s. Weinstein was at his peak.
In her defense, and in a lot of girls' defense, I would say it probably gets really fucking old being in male-dominated
I'm sure.
places
I really
where
do
you're
believe that.
constantly, and I mean constantly sexualized and approached. She was in the boxing world, and congrats to her. She just went. She wanted me to be there, and I couldn't. But she recently went into the Boxing Hall of Fame.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, as the first female announcer.
Nice.
Not to hold a fucking ring card. She was like, "Fuck that. I want to be the bitch."
saying like,
know.
and coming in.
Yeah. And she did, and she's in the Hall of Fame for it now. So congrats to her. I was trying to go there. She invited me and her family. And I've always loved them. And I know how much shit she went through with people expecting shit and wanting shit and treating them like this girl's complaining about.
Yeah.
But to say like only Latino women, like
Right.
I know personally people that have been treated the exact fucking same way. And they don't have to be that hot either.
Yeah.
They
No,
can just sort of be hot. They can just have a good body and girls will get treated like that.
Yeah.
And they'll be fucking
And you know what's
treated
funny?
as-
I will say this because I go for the joke too. Like it's what it is. As I've gotten older, do tend to think more about. Yeah, that would be there's a lot more to it than just I'm hot
and there's a big part of woe is you. Fuck
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
You get more opportunities than anybody. I mean, there's a give and a take to all.
But you know what? Everyone has shit like.
Believe me, you'd rather be the
Yeah.
fucking hot person than the fucking load.
I agree more than
Oh,
ever.
sure.
That you're right. There is more to it than just that. But I'd still fucking most people would rather take it.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
My problem with this is trying to stuff a racism angle
Yeah,
into
that's
the
fucking
story.
crazy.
Like, go fuck off.
All Latin women are being treated as sexual
Yeah.
objects. No, they're not.
She
Imagine
says,
a guy saying he was too hot.
yeah, I know.
Like a guy actor saying I'm too hot.
Ryan Reynolds coming out there.
Right.
Yeah. It has been single-handedly the biggest challenge of my career being too hot.
You want to show some others? You want to see some other people's
listen to this
careers
line.
and hear challenges?
Yeah, right. You have no
You want to
idea.
hear some of
lady.
even
Sorry.
even the people in this room. You want to hear challenges? trying to get a
Yeah,
job?
yeah.
Do you know how fucking disappointed it is to like post a guitar video that I've worked for an hour, 2 hours on, or some riff I've made up that was perfect, only to see a fucking video with like 1-2 million views of just a chick playing like "Smoke
Yeah.
on the Water" with a bra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, why the fuck do I even play the guitar anymore?
Dude, try doing a podcast for a decade.
Oh, I bet.
And having fucking some dipshit in a bra.
Just be
and
like, now we're gonna
"Hey,
talk about
hon."
the same true crime that you've heard on like
Yeah.
20 other shows.
50 million views later. Yeah, trust me, I get it. You guys are not getting any favors or
No.
views because unless you're a celebrity. And,
Yeah.
Unless you're a celebrity. You have to
unless
get to
you're a
that
celebrity. Yeah, you're not getting any fucking special treatment from.
Isn't that
from
funny?
It. You
Like,
you
for
earn it.
real.
But honestly, if I could sit down here in fucking a thong and all of a sudden 50 million people would tune in, no matter what I said, like guys would do that.
Right? Fucking yeah, we would.
For sure we would. Instead,
Yeah.
it'd be a turnoff to everybody. But chicks can absolutely do that. Play
Like
Smoke on the
rock
Water.
It really was too. Like, dude, I checked out the channel too, just to be like, she's got to play something good at this point.
Yeah.
Like, that's 2 million views for like fucking. It was like Everlong or something. No, they're just like shitty fucking 2-chord songs.
Yeah,
all of them.
yeah. She's playing fucking.
She learned.
She
She watched a
thinks she's
YouTube
good.
tutorial and then she just started playing it. In a
and
bra.
if you've ever played guitar, just for context, for
Yeah.
those that don't know, "Smoke on the Water" is like the song they will teach you
Yeah.
first of anything.
it's Smoke on the
literally-
Water, Iron Man, and then
Yes.
House of the Rising Sun.
Yeah. if you want to go like easiest guitar song to play ever, it'd be like Smoke on the Water and Iron Man.
Yep.
Like right there.
Do you think she thinks she's good? I wonder.
Oh, she probably thinks she's good, especially because the comments are always like, amazing, so talented.
Those were the comments that Amy used to get. Like she'd post a stupid picture and be like, the sun doesn't set without your smile. And you're like, oh God.
Jesus Christ,
fucking
dude.
stop it, dude.
It
Stop
happens at lots of places, but I almost like I used to like kind of call it like the karaoke thing. Like, you know what I mean? Some hot girl gets up there and sings karaoke. It doesn't even fucking matter.
No.
Like, they're 10 guys. You killed it.
Go to karaoke night with Michelle Dion. Actually, she's very good though.
She actually probably can sing.
Yeah, she can.
But you
She's
could
very
be
good.
a terrible
But she
singer.
always looks like a fucking 10 no matter where she goes.
Yeah.
Michelle Dion looks like a 10 everywhere she goes. She's got an exotic look. She's super sexy.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous. She's fun as hell. And then you see her do karaoke and you're like, oh,
And she's
knock
talented.
it off. And she's talented.
Well, yeah, she falls in line of what I've always said, actually, is I always hate. My deep level of, like, hate more comes from, like, the fact that Wayne Gretzky's daughter's hot.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. You're Wayne Gretzky's daughter. Or, like, you know, like,
Yeah,
Wayne
and now
Gretzky's
she's
daughter.
married to Dustin Johnson or whatever.
Can't you
You're like,
just
stop
fucking
it.
be a normal. You don't even have to be
they're
fat
winning.
and ugly.
They're born winning.
Well,
you should be fucking normal. It's
Yeah.
not fair that you're smoking hot and you're Wayne Gretzky's daughter.
Dude, I went on I went down the rabbit hole the other night. I couldn't sleep, and I was on YouTube, and some of the music videos where guys will break down like why this song is the way it is. And I love them too. You know, Rick Beato does a great job.
I watch him all
Professor
the
of
time.
Music is fucking great. And these guys break down these songs that were #1 hits or whatever. And then it went into a Van Halen thing. Like, here's why no one will ever be Eddie Van Halen again, and blah, blah, blah. And I watched some extraordinary breakdown videos, slow mode, like what he's doing. And it's so incredible and stuff. But then I went so far down the rabbit hole, I got to his son, Wolfgang.
Okay.
And so he's married to supermodel Valerie Bernelli.
Of course.
Eddie Van Halen has been rail thin, 6-pack at 65 years old.
Yeah.
And Wolfgang's 350 minimum.
Yeah.
Super talented, super good singer, can play his ass.
Just unfortunate.
Plays every instrument. His Mammoth WVH Wolfie Van Halen album, critical acclaim, his very first one, literally Dave Grohl that played every instrument on it,
Holy
all
shit.
backing vocals, all lead vocals. And I just look at him and you're like, it's 16, he was huge, and you know, he can't. I mean, I don't know what you can do about it. Some people are just big, but it's like, how do you get a supermodel and a rail thin fucking rock god?
Yeah.
Well, you don't tell that kid no ever.
Maybe,
I think that's
but
what
he
it is.
looks like he's going to be a big kid even as a baby.
Okay.
He did put out a video which was almost to the point of tear jerking of a video he put out after his dad died.
Yeah.
And it was all these home pictures of like Eddie with him as a little baby and growing up and playing the piano for him.
Yeah.
And it was just like, holy fuck, man. Really, really cool. If you can see it, it's Wolfie Van Halen's Mammoth. I can't remember the name of it. It's not beautiful. It starts with a B, but he put it out a couple of years ago. That's the only thing I can think of is like, yeah, of course Wayne Gretzky's daughter is fucking hot as shit and just doing blow all night with Dustin Johnson.
Yeah, it's like, fuck. Bullshit, man.
No, it's just solo project Mammoth WVH.
What's that?
It just says these days Wolfgang is carrying on with his father's legacy with a solo project called Mammoth WVH.
Yep. And there's a video they put out that he did with all those pictures of his dad and his mom and him. It's pretty cool. And you know, I mean, he got a lot of shit from Van Halen fans. A lot of shit because Michael Anthony's a beloved member of that band as a bassist.
Yeah.
And he joined Van Halen. They just booted Michael Anthony and brought in Wolfie to play bass for him. Wolfie's like 15 years old.
And it's always impossible to fill the shoes in like a legacy band like Van Halen.
Yeah,
you know
exactly. And Michael
never
Anthony,
gonna win.
by all accounts, is like married his high school sweetheart, still with her today. You know, 50 years later, and is just like supposedly like the nicest person in the world. So, whatever was going on behind the scenes, who knows? But a lot of Van Halen fans were like, "How dare you fucking kick of all people?" All the drama that Eddie and Alex and David Lee Roth have been through as a band, and Michael has just been that guy.
Yeah.
Rock solid there. But, you know, I think Eddie took some issue with him. He's like, he didn't write any lyrics. He didn't write any music.
That's my problem.
I showed him the parts to play, and it's like, ooh, fuck. But the dude was still there every day,
Yeah,
playing them every night, you know?
Well, see, that's my problem. I can play any instrument you throw at me. You ask me to write lyrics, I'm like, nah, I don't write like that.
It's hard. It's way harder
It's
than
way
you think.
hard.
It seems easy until you try to sit down and do it.
My
and
brother
then
can do it, and he's better at a lot of
It's
shit,
embarrassing. It's embarrassing to pour yourself out onto something.
Yeah.
It really is. I've done it a couple times, never, but it's basically poetry.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of guys will go
Yeah.
through their poetry diet.
No, my brother's
like, holy fuck,
got a
this
couple
is-
songs that he's recorded, and I just listen to him because I do a little bit of mixing. So it's like, hey, let me get those tracks. I'll go mix this up for you. And I'm listening to him like, where the fuck did this kid learn to write like this?
Yeah,
like, it
yeah.
was deep. It was like emotional. Like I'm listening to him like,
That's
I live
awesome.
with this motherfucker. What the fuck?
Yeah, who is this guy?
Yeah, like what
Who
the
is this
fuck
fraud?
happened?
So this chick goes on. She's of course on the racism thing now because
Yeah,
only
yeah.
white chicks, you know, their lives are perfect,
Yeah.
and it's only Latinx chicks who get called sexy and
Yeah.
hot and too hot.
Well, I'm dating a Latinx.
Even what she's saying, even what she's claiming, by
See,
the way,
you
I have
know.
to say the X though. It's
what she's
Latinx.
claiming is even that because I'm a Latinx, that's why they're calling me too hot, too sexy. Like
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah. Only
it's
Latinx.
not even they're calling
she
her
goes
ugly.
on. I remember being told for so many projects, she's too pretty for the role. She's too hot for the role. Then I'd just be like, what is Margot Robbie? She's the hottest, most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. I had an identity crisis for a very long time. I was like, do I shave my head? Do I make myself less attractive? Do I make myself more attractive? Can you do that?
Oh my god!
I don't think she can.
I don't think she could do that.
She was told by, told,
and
that-
then you
coming
and
from
then
a gay guy, so just strictly like not even a sexual thing, just look standpoint, she can't get any hotter.
No. I would say this though: if she's worried about it, she's 34. Give it 10 years, sweetie.
Yeah.
Actually,
Like I said,
that
get
chick's
to
so
50,
hot,
you'll
she'll
hit
be
10,
hot.
you'll hit a Boilo.
She'll be hot at 60. What am I talking about?
I still want to file that.
She's one of those pretty women that if she doesn't like fall apart,
Yeah.
she'll be hot when she's 70.
I just want to know who the people that told. I call bullshit on that. Does someone that she heard
Oh, no, yeah.
saying she was
You're-
too sexy?
If you think about it, you're going into, we've talked about this many times before.
Yeah.
You're going into the most shallow industry on planet Earth, right?
Yeah.
So the idea of someone saying, yeah, you get a nose job and you'd be right for this part. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to say to you. They're going for very
I
specific
was just
looks.
about to say if she's talking about changing her looks up and stuff like, I'm like, oh, give her 10 years, she'll have such a plastic face, it'll be ugly again.
Yeah, that could be. But then you look at who was the actress that played Eileen Wuornos in Monster? Who's an absolute fucking smoke show. And then, like, you could do that, sweetheart.
I'm related to Eileen Wuornos.
No.
Yeah.
You are?
Yep, grandma's cousin.
No way.
Yep. I'm trying to look for the actor right now. It's
It's
Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron. Okay, now look at Charlize Theron in Monster and tell me, Ms. Gonzalez, you can definitely make yourself not too hot for a project if you want. Are you seeing pictures from her in Monster?
Yeah, I'm pulling him up right now.
And that's Charlize Theron, okay, who is, I hear a giant pain in the ass, but one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood. Was that her in the movie? Look at,
Yeah.
see if you could find the movie,
I got the poster here.
the poster, yeah.
Yep. Hold on.
I think she packed on a shitload of weight, and I mean, like, talk about commitment.
There's that one. There's also here we go. There's another one.
Yeah, what's the main one?
I'm looking. There's
Yeah,
a lot
okay.
of options. It's just all movie
Yeah,
scenes.
probably.
Hold on.
I can't get over that you're related to Eileen
Yeah.
Wuornos. What was her story again?
She was
killed.
the first female serial killer to get executed in the state of Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah. That's Charlize Theron right there.
And Christina Ricci.
I love Christina Ricci. She's great. Touch of the goat eyes, but
A little bit.
I'm okay with it. So, Ms. Gonzalez, you could do that. And I think she looked even worse in the movie. You know, that
Oh, yeah.
poster.
Well, I think that's what that first image was a scene from the movie.
Yeah. So she finishes saying, or they say, she got her break in Hollywood when she landed a part in Baby Driver, which was 2017.
Yeah.
And you said, was he not canceled by 2017?
No, I think he was still going. I think it was the last movie he did.
Really?
Yep.
I want to watch that.
I definitely recommend it, though. It's actually a
Really?
good movie. Like Kevin Spacey or not, it's a great
Dude,
movie.
Kevin Spacey was one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, mine too.
I mean,
He's
Swimming
great.
with Sharks is the best fucking movie. The best. She's since then done Fast and the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, Bloodshot, Godzilla versus Kong. She's taken on the most unique role she's ever had as Augie, an applied scientist in Netflix's Three Body Problem. So
Okay, sounds like she's getting.
yeah.
What are you talking
What is this
about?
too hot for work? It sounds like you've been working consistently for over a decade.
Yeah.
I mean, or for
Looks like she's getting fine money, fine work, and she was a lead
Yeah.
actress in Baby Driver.
was she?
I think she is. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, these people.
I can't. Even, what a level of ego.
Yeah. Here, you guys want to do these?
Oh,
Yeah. She plays John Hamm's girlfriend.
Yeah. There you go.
hey, just real quick on John Hamm. Did you ever watch any of those Fargos on
Yeah.
FX or Hulu?
Yes,
He was
but I
in-
don't know if I.
He's in the newest season.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
Yeah, Fargo's great.
So fucking good.
Really?
He kind of plays like the bad guy, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
Well, that's what he does in Baby Driver.
I hate that he's got a huge dick.
I know.
And
he seems
I
kinda
hate
cool.
that he was a bully. You
Oh, he
know?
was?
Yeah.
Because he seems
in
kind
high
of
school.
cool. That's too bad.
I know. Yeah, he was a fucking serious.
No, he
bully.
kind of looks like a bully.
He's apologized for it years
Yeah.
later, but there are people.
I could
that
see.
came
That's
out.
a good point. You're right.
I could
Looking
see
at
him being a dick in high school looking like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point. Oh, which one do you want to go for? You want to go first or me?
Yeah, I'll go first. This part of the show is brought to you by Your Insurance Expert. Are you paying too much for health insurance? Are you uninsured? Health insurance can be confusing. Nick Matthews from Your Insurance Expert is an expert in health insurance, life insurance, and medical supplements, so you don't have to be. Call Nick Matthews at 248-914-1173. That's 248-914-1173. And I saw him in the chat, so I know he's still active.
All right. There you go.
And this part of the show is also brought to you by the Backcourt Restaurant in Clarkston. Located in the Deer Lake Athletic Club, the Backcourt combines first-class service with a relaxed, friendly atmosphere and a chef-inspired menu. They have daily dinner specials throughout the week, live music on Friday nights, and Friday and Saturdays, the best damn prime rib in town. So next time you're heading out for dinner or drinks, stop by the Backcourt Restaurant in Clarkston, call them at 248-625-8686, or visit DeerLakeAthleticClub.com.
And I highly recommend them. I actually got the
Yeah,
sit down in
you
the
went
restaurant.
there.
Yep.
Did he send you some drinks?
He sent me drinks before he paid
Yeah.
for a whole round for my table. He was so nice, and I gotta say the food,
Yeah.
delicious.
Good.
Holy shit!
Good.
I had a stuffed mushroom, and it was so done up and like.
Oh, that sounds
it's a
disgusting.
giant-
Why would you?
I know
do
you
that?
don't like mushrooms.
Fish and mushrooms. Fuck.
Whatever, that's fine.
Ugh.
Whatever. But like going around the table, everyone was getting spaghetti, pizza, steaks,
He
things
loved
like that.
your family, by the way.
Oh, they were so nice. My grandma was trying to get his hat off him.
Yeah, he mentioned your grandma.
Yeah, she's a character. She's a little bit of a.
I think you've told us that before.
My grandma's a bit of a character.
Yeah,
And
that's
she
great.
was trying to get the hat off.
For what it's
before me.
worth, by the way, I don't mean this in a negative way, and it's actually very positive if you're going to do something like this, but it sounds like your whole family's characters. Like to suggest
Yeah.
that your
Yeah.
grandma's just a character.
No,
Like,
my whole family's characters.
Okay, I was gonna say, and I don't mean that negatively. Like I
No,
said,
no, it's good to have
the
characters.
You don't get a
mortals-
good sense of humor without a little bit of a turbulence.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's true.
Once you realize that all families are fucking bad
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
you're good.
Yeah.
Once you realize that, like,
Yeah.
oh, it's not just my crazy family or
Yeah.
my wild family or my family member that's completely
Yeah.
off the deep end, out of control.
Yeah, yeah.
Like once you get that, you're good. You're good
For sure.
And I just hope we can instill in Marshy and Mad.
Yeah,
and
just
Reed,
be a
like,
good person.
I want them to not be like, fuck off when
Yeah.
they hit 15. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't want to see my parents. I don't want to see my uncles. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want to have a good relationship
Yeah.
like you have with your parents. Like, I didn't talk to my parents when I was in my 20s.
Oh, no, I was just hanging out
And
with my
they
mom on St. Patrick's
and
Day.
dude, the shitty part of that is they were the cool parents.
Yeah.
My friends adored my parents.
Yeah,
You
I
can
don't-
imagine
I don't
them when they
doubt
were
that.
younger.
My
Honestly,
friends love
yeah.
my parents too.
And I was just awkward and embarrassed, and it sucks. I'm glad I have the relationship I have with them now, but there was a good fucking 20 years there where I just
yeah.
go on my own way,
Yep.
man. Yeah.
I
But
hear you.
all the food was good. Everybody loved everything. And
Good.
Honestly, I expected more of a sports bar atmosphere. It is very high class.
Yeah.
It's very nice too.
Were you guys there on a weekend night?
Saturday, yeah.
Saturday? Did they have the Elvis guy there? Or
No, they didn't have
did
the
they
Elvis
live
guy there
music?
yet. They do have the band set up, but I think that was Friday night. We were just went
Oh,
there for
okay.
it.
Yeah. It's great. It's a lot of fun over there.
Yeah. And the whole athletic club's beautiful. If you guys want to sign up for something
Yeah.
there,
Yeah, totally. The pool. He keeps wanting us to
he
do
keeps
a show
inviting. He
over there.
invited my family out there too.
Yeah,
to the pool.
he wants us to do a broadcast out there, like
Oh,
go
that'd be
out
fun.
there and have an event. And I'm always just like, yeah, we'll see.
Oh.
I know how I am. You know how I am. So
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, are you about to get the email or are you going to do it?
yeah,
on the show?
I was gonna get to email. I had so many stories here we never got to, but that's okay.
Would you
we got
mind
time.
if I threw in a small plug for my
Please,
little...
ease this. You did such a good job on that read. It's almost not fun to have you do them anymore.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
It used to be really fun to make fun of you
I know.
for how bad you did. But you're getting through these things so easily.
You are right. God, my Lord, looking back to what they used to be like.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. When people had fun, laughed at you. And
Yeah.
it was
I'm
great.
sorry.
No, you're good.
If I could just throw a small plug, Michael, for my E-VentureCast podcast.
Yeah.
You know, I had my mom on finally.
Okay.
And talked about the some of
We
the
had
videos.
Fran on, right?
She's been on this show a few
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
But we talked pretty extensively about the video store. It's actually going to become 2 parts.
I love the
because there was
pictures.
Too much.
Yeah, I
You
saw the
posted.
pictures.
It's
Isn't that
fucking
crazy,
awesome.
dude?
Yeah. It was. I didn't realize how young you were.
I was about to say, I also didn't realize how
were
much you
little,
look like
dude.
your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. When you see him in person,
When you see but his dad at his age now, like it's
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Yeah. No, my dad couldn't. My dad could not say I'm not his kid. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
look fucking like my
Yeah.
dad for sure. No, it was fun. I will say for whatever it's worth, it was fun going back with my mom and really talking about that shit. I know I mentioned it before, but it was such a time in my life that I don't think back to as much as I used to at one point. But I spent my whole life there. You know, birthdays and New Year's Eves, and I worked there. And I know we talked about this before. But
No, it's wild to me because I can't stress enough to people that have listened to this show for a long time. Like, Easus didn't give a shit if he shit on the floor and we talked about it, or if he fucked a whore and it all went south and we talked about it. He never, ever put parameters. If he did it, he'd talk about it, except that fucking store. He finally, probably 3 years into this show, mentioned...
maybe even more than that, I think.
It might have even been longer into it. I can't stress to people. It was like...
A secret.
Dude, it was like not to be joked about. Don't even throw in a side comment. Like, he's never stood up for himself to me for shit.
Yeah.
Especially in those days. He will now. But in those days, he didn't. He couldn't say no to me. And if I was like, Easus, it's for the best of the show. We're going there.
Yeah.
We're doing this story. I don't care how embarrassing it is. You're doing it. And he would, fuck, I know. And there were times he'd give a little pushback, but he wouldn't really, and he'd cave. Not the fucking video store. The video store was off fucking lit. It was almost like, I was thinking like, were they in business with mobsters or something?
Yeah, it's like, what was going on
Why
behind
is
those-
this so
It's just
protected?
my mom being so weird about it. And
that's what you would always say.
And I felt
my
like
mom was going to be weird about it. I'm like, why?
But I'd done
Do you have bodies buried in the
Yeah.
fucking land?
Dude, I will tell you this. Back in those days, I would talk to her regularly. I'm like, what does it matter?
Yeah.
But, you know, through so much of my life, I've been a very, selfish person, and they've helped me out so much that it was something that she just cared enough about that I had to.
It was a big tax scam, and the statute of limitations just ran out.
I get it. My dad put his foot down on one thing. He was like, I fucking know you, and I know you will go on the air with this. This is not to go on the air. Like
this thing, whatever it is,
one story.
Yeah.
He's like, this just, and it's nothing crazy, but it's something that makes him uncomfortable. It's nothing embarrassing for him or anything, but it's just like, I don't want that. And I'm like, I won't. He's like, you will though. You will. And I'm like, I won't fucking, and I never have.
The next fucking day. No.
Tomorrow, 24 hours
So for
later.
whatever it's worth, I think it came
So
out
I get
pretty-
it. When a family is like, hey, for whatever reason, this here, I know how you could fuck around. I know you get in a moment and you just go, not this.
Yeah.
And every broadcaster has those.
Yeah.
Every single one. But that one was such a big, like,
I know. And,
I had no idea how
much
much of your life that was.
So much of it, dude, in reality.
I thought you got that place in like junior high or high school.
No.
And here you are as a little toddler in the store as you're painting it,
dude.
building it.
And what I even found out through talking to her, and we don't have to go too much into this, but what I even found out through talking to her, we had 2 stores eventually, one in Allen Park and one in Taylor. I didn't even realize that the one I thought in Allen Park, because Allen Park was the first one. Then eventually when they got in a second store, they went to Taylor. I didn't even realize that the Allen Park store I thought that was the first one. There was a one before that was even a smaller building. Like literally until I got those pictures out, I'm like, what is this? Like, well, that was actually the first Allen Park store. I'm like, I didn't even know that, and I fucking went through it.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy.
For what it's worth, I think it went well. The reason I ended up doing I'm going to do 2 parts with it was.
You did 2 parts.
I'm going to do 2. I haven't done the second part yet, but when I was doing the questions for myself, I just thought it was like important enough to like. Just get a baseline of how it even started. Like my dad was working at GM, my mom was a postal worker at the time, and shit like that. So I there was so many questions
it's the American dream, man.
That just like started. So I said, why don't we just do one where we just get to the point, like how did it come to be? Where did you choose the location? Whatever, all this shit. Then we'll do stories about me working there, and because that's a whole wealth.
God, I wish I could be the fucking interviewer on this podcast. Because I'd be like, no, I want to know. You had to know Easus was a problem at the register. You know, like
That was pretty good, I think. But
yeah, maybe you were. You're a hard worker. I'll give you that.
I really liked it. You know what's funny? I will say about. I won't say much more about it. But what about the story that was? I think I look back on it later. Was I never got along with kids my own age because I was so awkward and so nerdy and so weird. But we had this store that we owned. I could go down there, and I dealt with adults. And I used to say I remember back then, I got along with adults more than I did with kids because adults didn't fucking give up. I'm just an 8-year-old, 10-year-old kid at the store.
Yeah, they weren't
going to
have fun with
me. Yeah, they weren't going to bully me. They knew my mom owned the place.
Yeah.
And shit. So I kind of had my little world there.
Yeah.
And they just treated me cool.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that anywhere else. And it meant a lot to me. Anyway. eVentureCast, it's on anywhere you pod, it's out there. There's going to be another version eventually. But yes, Hello, Mrs. Fady is the name of the episode. So.
Hello, Mrs. Fady. I love it.
Anyway, thank you for letting me get that out there.
Yeah, of course, buddy. I'll do a couple emails. Now, I will admit, these are from a while ago because there's been nothing to email
Well,
about,
the ones that are current are, where the fuck are you?
Yeah, exactly. So Doug writes, Joyless Reed.
And then we're gonna find our best friend Doug, and then we're gonna give him a best friend hug. Doug, Doug, oh, Doug, Dougie, Doug.
So this one is from Doug, and it's called Joyless Reed. Miguel, you were speaking about Joyless Reed and the Joe dude from MSNBC. That would be Joe Scarborough.
Yep.
You understand they have the Costanza theory from George Costanza of Seinfeld. That theory is if you believe the lie, then it's true. Garrett, you're getting better every day. Some of the shit you say is very, very funny.
Thank you.
As always, keep up the great work, gentlemen. I did get a message from someone that says, I'm actually really going to be sorry to see Easus leave. He is killing it with Garrett.
No fucking way.
Yeah, they really like the dynamic.
For whatever it's worth, I actually do enjoy this dynamic quite a bit.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm doing what I
really
want to do, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, I do too. I'm having a lot of fun doing this.
I will say, take this for what it is. I've been more excited when I've been when I'm driving in. The times I've been doing it now under this format.
I'm doing all the work. That's why.
That is true. I just get to sit here,
sit and talk. Although it's not. No, I think it's dynamic.
Yeah,
I think it is. It's what I was going for. You know, having different different ages,
views, ages.
Ages.
It's like with J, U, and E. It was different because it was like you had a guy who lived with his mom and an old radio host and a lawyer. It's like, that's a dynamic.
Dynamic, exactly.
That is really
exactly.
When you heard that, when I hear that now, I mean, I still live at home, but when you hear that now, though, a guy who lives, especially back then, you know, a 35-year-old who lives at home and a lawyer and an ex radio star of a morning show, like what that could have been a situational sitcom.
Yeah, no. There's definitely something to that, and I've told people for years how important it was, you know, and it could have been anybody. It didn't have to be me and Mark. It could have put lots of people probably could have filled that and grown into that role. But to have a generation below Drew and Mike be able to kind of keep and understand
kind of like, hey, this is what's current.
this is what's current. This is why you don't say Oriental, Mike. Yeah. You don't call them Orientals, dummy.
Yeah.
That's a rug. Okay, they're fucking Asians, whatever. But you know, like little things. And that's
are you supposed to call it an Asian American rug?
Yeah, an Asian American rug. But Clark would call them Orientals. Like it's like a vase or a rug. They don't like being called that. And I'm fucking around with that one, but having that, like, who, you know, Drew knows everything to know about the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and Pink Floyd, and that's all great. But then it's like, no, here's what's
coming out today,
right? Like, so there was just a different, and that dynamic I think is important to help. You know, stuff like that. Easus is younger than me. You're even younger than Easus.
When it was just you and T-Roy, I can't tell you how many times I was sitting there screaming at my phone, like, you fuckers, this is what it is. Like, just whatever reference you're
a Google machine away. Fucking get it right. Yeah, video game stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you've been able to contribute with some video game stuff where it's like, thank God you're sitting there because I know I'm going to make a fool of myself. It is what it is. And Troy and I could have worked as a dynamic with a third person as well, but just the two of us, it's like I could feel it. You know that this is going to run. It's
kind of just quick. The same thing going back and forth,
right? And so you kind of need that dexterity, that play.
Yeah,
it's good stuff. So I'm glad people are saying that, and I'm not shocked to hear people even say I'm kind of fucking digging.
Actually, Easus is also getting called up right now. So the guy that saw you in Meyer was Francis J. Fox said, Easus did not change from when I saw him at Meyer this afternoon.
That's true.
All caps.
Yeah. So for full context,
Come up and say fucking hi, by the way. You're gonna since it's out there now. You're
We were
gonna
talking about it right before the show started.
he sent me a picture today and was like, look who I saw in the wild. And it's Easus in a fucking grocery store. And he's got one hand on his dick and one hand on his phone. And he says he's had his hand on his dick and his other hand on his phone like 18 times. But then he was like, it wasn't a TDC sanctioned event, so I didn't go up and say anything to him. Like, it's even weirder. You took a picture of him.
That's weirder.
Way weirder.
Maybe he was
Frank.
a little concerned with why your hand was on the dick. He didn't want to get too close.
Yeah, probably. And by the way, he's like, God, Easus is weird. He was shopping for Ensure and V8 Jews. Yeah, he was shopping for other people.
I wasn't
Does
shopping
that
for
shit.
Wasn't shopping for himself.
Nah,
You think
I was-
Easus was poking around the grocery store?
I was on the job.
He was on the job.
You gotta eat the pens. I shit myself.
All right. Let's see. Voice issues. All right. Hello, guys. Good evening, sir. I've heard you mention voice issues a few times. I had cervical disc replacement surgery in November. One of the issues that came from the surgery is I was left with a scratchy voice, and my vocal singing range was seriously affected. Okay, he wanted to tell us he's a singer. He wanted us to know that he had an
Then
extremely
he went
good
and fucking
vocal range.
RFK'd himself.
Yeah, yeah. And so, yes.
We have to go check out his channel.
But yeah, now we got to check out Tommy's music
Yep.
and see how good he was. And, now he's got an out. If it sucks, he's like, yeah, the cervical voice. It's the disc. I got the scratchy voice now. So I saw an ENT doctor. They put a camera down my throat and saw that I have 2 cysts on my vocal cords that may have been irritated by the breathing tube or moving my windpipe to do the surgery. Doctor gave me 2 options: remove the cysts through surgery, or take Claret and Flonase, drink a lot of water, and see a speech therapist. I chose the second option. I've noticed that it's been gradually improving. I'm getting my vocal range back. Well, he's going to be back on the scene singing his balls off on
Right.
stage for loving audiences in no time.
Yeah.
Tommy, tell us where your next show is.
Yeah.
Some of those things may help if you're suffering from a similar issue. Take care, sir. You know what? I actually read your email a couple weeks ago, and I mentioned it to a couple people. And I think my surgery was long enough ago that this would have been an issue long ago.
Yeah.
But I am seeing the ENT sometime next month. So
There's your
we'll see.
options.
Yeah, we'll see. All right.
Claritin and water.
Feel free to email us as well. Walters@DetroitCast.com. I'm going to get you guys out of the house. We're going to go kick up some more dust upstairs.
Ooh, fun.
It's great being down here with you guys again. I've missed it the last 2 weeks. I hope you guys have as well. And have a good weekend. I'm going to try to come down here. I don't know how much I'll be here is the problem. I'm going to try to come down and do some member content at least.
You know what I was just thinking,
But
by the way?
what?
Sorry. I know I just fucking totally interrupted you.
No, you're good.
When I thought about the fact that his comment was, I haven't changed. Why would I have changed?
Yeah, that's true. Why would you have
Would
changed?
someone change in the middle? Like, I was wearing what I wore today. Like, if I went to the grocery store, I would.
He's thinking like someone going to the office, like, you got your jumpsuit on at the grocery store,
Right.
but you put the suit on for the
I'm
office.
wearing my
I
work
just
shirt
think
right
about,
now.
like,
Yeah, there you go.
if I saw you
Give him
with
a
the
plug, Garrett.
fucking-
I had a
Yeah.
Gallagher fire shirt on.
Yeah, there you go.
But if I saw you at the fucking like McDonald's at 3 p.m. and then saw you here, would I be
Yeah.
like, oh, he hasn't even changed?
He hasn't even changed. I haven't changed in a week and a half, dude. I literally have. I'm not kidding. I've been wearing this sweatshirt and these green pants
That's
for
all fine.
over a week and a half. I have
Respect. I like it.
3 pairs of underwear and 3 pairs of socks at my mom's house.
Have you done the inside-outside thing, or you're washing?
No,
you're
I've-
washing those. You just haven't.
I'm just washing them and rotating, but I have this sweatshirt which has food stains on it
Yeah.
and liquid stains on it, and these pants are absolutely filthy. My shoes are filthy, but I'm everything's boxed and I'm
Yeah.
like moving things
No,
around.
my work's too messy to not change every day. I gotta
Yeah.
wash my clothes a lot.
Oh, I get
no,
that.
the
I've worked at places
I
like that
I get
too.
chemicals on my skin that start to burn after a while, so you gotta change your clothes regularly.
Yeah. Well, talking into this thing, you don't have
Yeah.
to do that. But I have. Believe me, I've done man's jobs before.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
have. I was cutting down fucking iron stacks with
that's
blow
cool.
torches.
Yeah, you were telling me about that
Dude, I was
recently.
fucking shredded for a summer. Taking 50 pounds of this steel and throwing it into fucking loaders to
Yeah.
be taken for.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, for a whole summer just torching those things.
No,
So
fucking-
I get it.
It's
I worked for a moving company for a summer. I had that one summer where I was just shredded and
Yeah,
tan and
tan.
Never again.
Yeah, I don't
Fuck
think I
that
wore a
job.
shirt the entire fucking.
Yep.
Yeah, it was wild. I miss it, but I was young then, so
Yeah.
it was,
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
It is
was great.
easier, too.
Much easier. All right, we'll call it a day there. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Thank you for your patience. I certainly appreciate it. We appreciate it. And we'll be back on Monday. If that's good, Garrett and I will be. I don't know if Easus will be able to make it.
I have to see what I'm doing next week. I will be here next week, though. There's no question about that.
Excellent. Excellent. Have a great weekend, you guys. We'll see you all soon.